potentially for Toronto. But look, I'm willing to be proved wrong. We've seen this SMG matchup come into things. Questions were asked, and they've looked good so far. So let's see how they do against some of the best SMGs, if not the two best SMG lineup in the game. But Kleenex really has been stepping things up here for the side of Toronto Ultra, seriously putting up some big numbers.
Yeah, it really has, and maybe that's been the difference for Toronto coming into this stage. Obviously, they made a team change, and a little bit of a controversial team change. People didn't know if this would work out for them, Ton, and that's kind of the thing that people are alluding to. Has this team change helped Kleenex out?
100% of that. I mean, we've kind of heard from what Ali just said there. Hixie has been the enabler for the side of Kleenex. It's been allowing him to put up these numbers, get into the positions to put up the numbers as well. He was always that guy who was doing the dirty work. Now he's the one that can run around, do that dirty work, make those smart plays for the team, but he can put those numbers up as well. It has freed him up. Hixie is the one just cleaning up where he needs to, where Kleenex is the one doing the damage. Hixie's not playing bad by any stretch of the imagination when it does come down to the slaying department, of course. Not putting up too bad numbers, saying it a 0.88 in the moment, but Kleenex, like, to touch on the side of things from when Stanley was in the team to now. Beforehand, with Stanley in the team, he was a 0.94, but with the small sample size that we've had with Hixie in the team, dropping to 1.14, so that's a really big improvement. A 0.2, it's about a 20 to 30% increase for the side of Kleenex in terms of the numbers he's putting down with Hixie in the team. Can he do that here against the subliners, though? As mentioned, for me, the big question mark is going to be the SMG battle.
Yeah, I don't think it's an easy game, actually, for either side, realistically.
It's not.
The statistics, series wins, very close. Hotel Hardpoint this season as well, again, very, very close between the two. Were at least talking about them being two of the top teams in the CDL before Major number 2. They'll be looking to regain that spot for Major number 3. And moving into this first Hardpoint, obviously these two teams are also going to know exactly how it has gone between them before.
Of course, and I mean, looking at those records, of course, very, very close across the board between both these two teams. But to touch on recency bias more than anything, New York have lost it the last 2 times they played it. Toronto have won it the last 2 times they played it. Great start for the side of New York, though. They will find 2 or so points, but it's inside to find 3. Scrap finds the next one. It is going to be New York with the spawns heading over towards P2. But a good start for the side of subliners nonetheless.
Yeah, a little bit of soaking going on, and they've got an opportunity now to maybe pull the scrap time away from them if they can do it, and that's exactly what New York have struck for. Kismet will get it eventually, and they're going to keep that spawn as well. Although we will have a spawn come into bedroom as Hixie just does enough work, and they've actually flipped it. New York went for the scrap time, Ton, and didn't get it.
Yeah, overpressure. All of a sudden, Toronto Ultra get that more beneficial spawn. If you're not careful, things will flip very, very quickly. You can see Scrap spawning out because of the pressure that's been coming in from the subliners. Heading over towards P2, though. Looking good for a break.
Insight knows that all the lanes are now falling against him. Kleenex fortunately helps him out massively. Insight trying to figure out where they're coming from. They still know they're out towards the back as well. Toronto Ultra, this is not a normal hold they would like to do. They know pressure is on its way. Reception will be cleaned up. Here comes it into them now. But Kismet is going to be the only player left alive. But somehow New York still walk away with it because Hydra is there. And they eventually do take it away from Ultra.
Oh, great shots coming in from Scrap. 30 seconds to go. It looks like Ultra will have another look at it. It was looking like that break was going to come a lot earlier than it did, though. Subliners eventually do get themselves through. Very close game to kick things off. Scrap having a look towards, well, the scrap time at P2. Ultra will spawn out towards the mid-map. Subliners already on their way. Keeping an eye on Hydra. 8 and 4 already. He's definitely going to be a thorn in the side of Toronto Ultra right now. But they are set up in kitchen. One kill towards the back from Hydra, though. The break could be coming in immediately. Already gun Scrap, and he's trying to mess his life, so they have to kind of dig him out of that area. Unfortunately, his teammates were not able to get enough kills into kitchen. Hydra will strike again. He's still there. Just waiting, so patient from him there. It's kind of a big brain play because Ultra looking for him, and they've let him slip just enough. Skies goes through the front, gets 2 as well, and Hydra doesn't even need to get another kill. It is a great break from the subliners. And that's a couple of times now. We've already seen the breaks coming through. Ultra, the first one's there. Subliners, the ability to break is very, very strong. Good shots from inside. He will find one. Can the break now start to come on through? Kismet just sitting tight. Doesn't even need to fire a bullet. Skies will find 2. Priester finds the other. Ultra, once again, having to move away and licking their wounds. Hydra's trying to kill him to mid-map. Pressure is already going to be here, and he's been the one. Both these last 2 hills, he's been there so much earlier than the rest of his team. Yeah, you might question it in terms of pacing, etc., but he puts the pressure on. He'll find a kill, he'll dip out. He's not forcing anything over the top. He waits for his team, sets them up a little bit better. The break will be coming shortly as they will pick up that final little bit of scrap time. It's a 40-point lead for the side of subliners. Breaking has been good in the last 2 hills. Can they find a thread? Look for now as Hydra tries to thread the needle with a Vaznev.
More pressure coming on. They're trying to break this again quickly. Scrap already taken down. Kismet towards the back. And New York, slowly but surely, trying to increase this pressure, trying to get their way through as he calls it well, but Scrap says, all right, thank you, I'll have that one. But they will win out of the trade battles. Inside comes under too much fire. It's another 2 from Hydra. It could be another break here from New York as they get another one in. It's outrageous how clinical they are at breaking these hills.
Hindsight was towards the back there. A pinch potentially set up. Hixie's just going to turn the wrong way at the right time for the side of Subliners. Kleenex stayed alive though, and here we go. 8-8 from him. Good start. We'll find a third. Kleenex breaking it open on his own. Can't find the fourth. Subliners lose a decent amount of time though for Kleenex going big there. Hixie will put the pressure on as well, and not just to force Subliners back. Keep them as far away from Restaurant as he possibly can. Subliners, of course, the team with the advantage right now. They are finding the breaks time and time again, but Ultra are holding on with a decent amount of scrap time in each hill.
And now New York again on the outside of the rotation will have to break in. Let's find out how they do this with a listen with the New York Subliners.
Take your time. I got it.
Karen. Laying down storage. They're playing for us to run in.
Yo, laying down storage. Yeah, he's still looking at it. One's gonna be flanking mid or something.
I spawn middle.
I don't see him runs. Play your kills for a second, guys. I spawn engine. I'm gonna go wine, okay? Close in. Done. Nice. I'm gonna try wine. 3. Wait, go. On the chair. Close left. Yo, heady. They're couch heady. Absolute.
Man. On the left, heady.
On the chairs. You're good. I got one in their couch. Go shot. I'm waiting for you.
Rotate left.
Oh, guys, your couch. I'm waiting. Scrap, Kleenex, look at side. Mid time. Dead. One shot. Apps on me. Looking for Hixie. It's on me. Mid couch. And 1-0 rugs. Our rugs. There's 2
on the van.
He's going mid to wood. Oh, yo, he's in the back.
Just one shot.
I'll get. Take it down. I'm gonna flood left.
One of the backs.
No. We should go right. All right, that's fine. I'm gonna go cheers to help you guys hold. I'm looking at my dark. I don't know where the guy old went.
I'll be backed up kitchen.
Watch your cat.
And wow, the rotation from Ultra and the hold going into platform as well. A back-to-back hard point has put them firmly in the lead, Ton.
And rotations haven't been a problem for the side of Ultra. We've seen it time and time again. The hold was the issue. They have no issue that time around, though. I want to say it was quite one-dimensional from Subliners, though. Certainly a team that is good at finding pinches. You've got Hydra to find routes for your team. Not able to do it there over towards the restaurant side. Currently, nobody getting any time on the board for either one of the squads at this moment in time. Insight finds one to the back, trying to disrupt this push from Subliners. It's a 2-pronged attack this time, though. Hydra inside the point over towards the other side. Priester trying to wrap around himself. The gunfight from Scrap is there, but now the team really getting a good amount of time. But all of a sudden, what was looking like a healthy little lead for the Subliners is looking like a healthy lead for Ultra.
Yeah, as we move into this next set of rotations as well, I think you are right. The difference in this game so far is New York are doing great in breaking, but they haven't been there on the rotation, and they only had to slip once, which is what we have seen. Now Toronto Ultra have started to hold a little bit better. It is getting away from them, but Hydra's going to fly into this next gunfight, Ton, and they're looking maybe to get this rotation this time.
Yeah, it's all about P2. You've got to fight for it pretty much straight away. Hixie will fall into the jaws of Hydra once more. The streak will continue, a constant menace on the map. I want to say, actually, with the very first time we headed over towards P1 and the break off of the game, Subliners picking up a decent amount of time. It seems as if the setup here for P1 is pretty solid. Sky's finding 2. You've got Couch's control. That's what you want to try and get if you're Ultra. You go down. Kixie actually had Kleenex alongside of him, so a potential break coming through. But P2 spawns are the more important thing. That's 3 in a row now for Skies. This is great time on P1 from Subliners.
Yeah, they're just soaking everything they can here. And Ultra not only have not got P2, they haven't managed to get this scrap time away from them at all until the last few seconds. Curse to the commentator there. But this is where it is going to matter. P2 is about to pop. Last time around, Ultra stole it from New York. Can they break back in, or will New York Subliners take the lion's share of this time?
Not well won gunfight there by the side of Scrap. Taking down Hydra on a 4 spree. Look how far away they are. This is going to be a free 10 to 15 seconds for Subliners before Ultra have even got eyes on the point. Kismet inside of reception is going to be an issue. Hydra just playing his life as well, but the 2 kills that are going to come through is for Ultra. One player towards the back for the Subliners. He's going to fall, and Hydra, he needs his teammates to win a couple of gunfights there to be influential. He still possibly can be from back spot.
They haven't found anything, Ton. Nothing from New York worked out there. It wasn't a single kill in the kill feed. Ultra have gone to work with the break, and this is putting them so far ahead now. 20 seconds left to go. We are going over to Kitchen, and New York need a big hold.
Yeah, they need a big hold here. You're very right. This scoreline is not quite getting out of hand, but it's in danger of doing so. Toronto Ultra are going to break the 200-point mark in sight. A streak is available. May well choose to hold on to that one. Kleenex and Hixie are going to find 2 in the mid-map, though. And all of a sudden, Scrap Does he press the issue? Does he wait on his teammates? He will find one on his own. The rest of the team are on their way. The hard point pops. Here comes Scrap. No help, but yes, he has. Kleenex will find it. 6 in a row from him. That's 2 cruise missiles now available for the side of Toronto Ultra alongside a 60-point lead. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Every single place on the map that it could be, New York are falling like dominoes. Here comes the push, a push they desperately need. Kismet ready in freezer, but the rest of his team aren't here. They are dying, eventually going down as Kismet falls as well. Skies is ready to push this one, but he's got to wait. Here they come. New York are ready.
Subliners, you need to find a contest here. I think Ultra just about have this tick. The subliners starting to find a way through. It's the same break that came last time. Hydra with the first. Can Skies and Kismet be there for the last? They cannot. Skies falls as well. Nobody else from subliners around. Toronto Ultra, you're going to be within milliseconds away from holding this down. It'll be a 2-point game for Ultra to take it. Subliners here on the rotation, but they're going to be over 100 points behind. They have to be perfect.
And this is a long, long road back into this game.
Good start.
Currently are holding, do have the opportunities of pushing the other team out. But even with full time on this hill, they will need to do it again. And Ultra only have to break them once. 3 seconds is the game that hangs in the balance.
Where's the break going to come from? Well, nowhere right now. Subliners holding strong. And Toronto Ultra are going to be patient here. Really good shots coming in from Skies. Toronto Ultra have to be patient. But as that time winds on, things get a little bit more panicky. First kill's going to come in from Kleenex. Is this maybe the catalyst for a push that's going to come on through? Not yet. Priest has found 2. Skies has found another. Great hold from Subliners so far.
They've been doing the work. They've done just enough. Again, Ultra full, but with 14 seconds left, we are over to Restaurant. Ultra already dug in. They already have this. New York have got to give it up already. Priest are on a 6th tree. Just gun scrap. And now they have to go for it. In it comes. Cruise missile going. New York have to move. There's only 3 seconds left to do it. Kismet gets a kill as well. Skies gets another one. It's only Kleenex left on, but they break it. They've broken the hill.
249 are 1 second away from Ultra here. It's one decent break, but it's pretty much, I want to say, 70 or seconds uncontested for the most part from Subliners so far. You can see Ultra playing this slow and methodically, calling in their own streak. They have to get up. Here comes the engagement for Ultra.
They still haven't got it. They still haven't got the bodies inside. They're trying to get a little bit of a trade coming through here as well. This could be one of the greatest hardpoint comebacks we've ever seen. Ultra do not want this to happen in their first map of today.
Here we go.
And they're looking for it. Hydra already finds the first. Kleenex has got a trade coming through. Sky finds another one. He jumps through at the same time. Kismet is waiting for them to come. This may be down to the rotation. Are they going to be in a position for it? Ultra have just moved completely. They're going to platform. New York, you've got to go.
This is a much better setup than Ultra had over towards the restaurant side, though. Subliners are so far away. Priest is going to try and step the net here. He is going to be the influential one. 2 seconds away before we go over towards the platform. Kismet inside the point. Kismet dead in the point. Ultra, by the hair on their chinny chin chin, just about get it done. It was comfortable until it wasn't. They get the win, but not without some trepidation. Really good map number 1. Subliners nearly come back, but Ultra seal the deal.
There has never been a more stressed time to be an Ultra fan. They were watching the minimap. They were watching the kill feed for disaster. And Ultra, obviously, a little bit jubilant that they've won it, but I don't know how happy you can be with the fact that you came that close to losing that game. 2-4-9 for the longest time.
But you're trying to be one of...
almost pulled off a ridiculous comeback, but that restaurant on the platform rotation, it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, you could see Ultra started to set themselves up towards that side of the map as things kind of continue to get scarier and scarier towards the restaurant side. They started to set themselves up in a better spot to head back over towards P5 and over towards the glass side. And from that moment, it's hard for some players because you've got to push through kitchen, then you've got to push through the sights of some players who will already be setting up over towards glass as well. And in the end, it's a 15-point game. But I want to say for the most part, apart from, I want to say, well, the last 2 hills, or 2 of the last 3 hills at least, Ultra were nowhere near on the setup. It was really where their strength was lying in the first half of the hard point, at least, though. The rotations were in their favor the majority of the time, but subliners were finding some nice breaks, but it started to slow down for the subliners in terms of those breaks.
Yeah, it was a very weird hard point. If you think about that first set of rotations, you're right. Like, Ultra, it was all about playing the fundamentals. They had the rotations. New York were doing very good at breaking. As soon as we went into the second start of rotations, right, basically Ultra started holding. Then
here, right?
New York started getting the rotation, and then Ultra would just break them back out again. And the less said about the ending of that game, the better. Ultra were on the cusp of beating. Look at the scoreline, by the way. 2-4-7, I think, to 1-4-9 at one point. And New York were maybe one gunfight away from winning this game.
Yeah, they were 15 points away. Last time around, these two teams played Hardpoint Hotel. It was 250 to 236 to Toronto Ultra. This time around, 250 to 235. These teams not differing away from the norm in terms of their matchups. Yeah, I think, you know, that's the kind of reaction from New York. Do you take some negatives from that if you're one of these two teams? I think if I mean, Ultra will be very, very happy for the fact that they found the win, but in the manner of things, I think that will dishearten them a little bit. But ultimately, it is the win that counts for Subliners. It's one of those say, well, look, we pushed them considering we were over 100 points behind. We didn't do too bad from that situation, but at the same time, why did we not play that well throughout the entire map? It's going to be a frustrating one for the side of New York, but also for Ultra. But Ultra ultimately will be the happier ones. And look at those numbers from Kleenex.
Yeah, I mean, he was having a very, very good time at the start of the map as well. And if you're going to pull positives out for both sides, I think Ultra played fundamentally very well for the majority of it. You know, they had the rotators locked in. New York, they have a better team KD, and that's probably because of the amount of breaking they were doing and just slaying out. If you want to take a negative for Ultra, it's going to be what happened in those last couple of hills for them. No early rotation to restaurant, and when they did early rotate to restaurant, they got broken very, very quickly. I will say, whoever made the call to just give it up completely and concentrate on platform, it was the right call because it was 1 second. But I think it was Kismet and Insight. I think if that gunfight had gone differently, New York actually had the better position around platform. It's one of those things, you go back, you look at the mini-map in that very, very last hill and see how dicey it could have been if there was a fluke gunfight up towards that area.
Yeah, it could have got really scary, but we were kind of talking about it in the moment. Those are the types of games when you are so close to winning, it's like, okay, well, do we stop concentrating at this stage? Like, you know, is that what... that's kind of what it feels like sometimes, isn't it? It's like, okay, well, you're just trying to breeze through the end of the game because you've been relatively dominant over the last few minutes, and things just went a little bit south for Ultra. But as we said, whatever matters is the number that comes onto your record. We can see on the records for Search and Destroy, we haven't seen it a lot from the side of Ultra as we're going to be heading into it, but ultimately they have the lead. They will be the ones happier heading into map number 2.
Well, we'll have to see. This game is started. We're on board with Hydra with a sniper. We've talked about this before, and I always feel like I just want to see Hydra with a Vaznev regardless of what he's doing.
Yeah, especially on this map as well. He's the kind of player you think, yeah, get in launch, get in orange, get up top AC. It's a good spot to be in. But looking over towards this map specifically on the stat side, Toronto Ultra struggling with first bloods, and that is going to be difficult for them because yesterday they were really good at against Optic with those first bloods, finding 8 out of the 11 rounds in their favor in terms of those first bloods. But for the most part, they have struggled with that factor in Search and Destroy so far.
This guy's just exchanging a few shots around the AC, and maybe hung around a little bit too long. They're going to go for it, and Hydra tries to get it back with a sniper. But now they are down in lives. Looking for a way back into it, and Hydra still trying to pick that angle. Insight has to be more careful.
But as an attacking team on this map in particular, the longer that the round goes on, the less information that you have. If you haven't covered every single angle, players from Toronto Ultra can find themselves in really nice spots to lock down certain areas of the map. But a gunfight going to go down towards the side of New York Sublines in the middle of the map, and all of a sudden Hixie has to swing into action towards the other side. This bomb's going down to A, and it was all of a sudden looking like an Ultra round, but Subline is now in prime position.
Yeah, Priester made what can only be described as one of the most influential kills I've ever seen. Taking down Scrap opened up the map for them as well, but Insight gets the first kill, brings it back to a 2 versus 2. Players both sides, though, for New York. They have to try and do something, and unfortunately, Priester will take down Hixie, leaving Insight alone. And they will just shoulder him, they will stun him, they will not give him time of day to make this play. And New York get it done in the end. But I don't know.
Sorry, go on.
I don't know if we saw it, but when Priester got Scrab, it just opened up the map, and I will say this, New York made a great call to instantly go for that one as well.
And that was really the difference maker. Yeah, okay, Hydra finds that onto Kleenex, but Priestess find that kill to open up that side of the map. You're very right. And for Subliners, that was really well played because they had ran down a lot of time. Ultra, I think they're in such a good position. Honestly, I was kind of in my mind calling that over towards the Ultra side. In that scenario, Hixie up towards the palm trees. You're in a really nice spot to defend over towards B. Subliners still up top PD. Yeah, things are looking good, but this time around it's a little bit different. It's going to be the aggressive attack coming in from Ultra. Shot's not there from the side of Hixie. Kleenex almost taken down himself as well, does survive. The fast hit over towards B doesn't work out for Ultra.
It doesn't, and Kleenex might have to make some sort of crazy play. He's looking for it here, but it's a mistake and he gets the kill. Brings it back to a 2 versus 2. Dead Silence reset. And he's trying to figure out where to go. He still has insight on Overwatch. They go for the plant, but the wrap is coming in from New York.
It's definitely going to be there very, very quickly, this wrap. Kleenex is going to struggle to get back over, or is he? Doesn't get any information from that stun either, so Insight is going to have to be the one to survive here. A couple of players pushing him. That's a lot of noise.
Here it is. Hydra trying to see if he can find a pick. And he almost finds it, but not quite. Priester, though, playing on the ladder. And there's a lot of time being burnt here. It already takes down one. Hydra in a 1 versus 2. But they are not going to give him time of day, surely. They are not going to allow this one to happen. And it's shoulder, peek, and run down the clock.
He'll do very well to find much here. He's going to find one at the Kleenex, but time not on his side. He may well find the second kill as well. He will do. Good shots coming in from Hydra. But Insight just checking that, knowing that it's over. Not necessarily too worried about giving the kill over. Great shots from Hydra, but ultimately a great round from Ultra. That initial push over towards the B side, it's shots like that I'd like to see Hixie just clean up on. Those moments are, if you can land a couple of those extra bullets, you find the kill, the bomb goes down. It's a very easy round for the side of Ultra. Got a little bit more difficult, of course, in the scenario, but they get the job done because of the pressure they initiated immediately.
Well, currently 1-1, all tied back up here in this round. There may be another quick plant for this. There's going to be a lot of players here from Ultra as well. Hydra's going to spot it when they go down. Priest is able to get it. Scrap gets another trade. Now it's in a 1 versus 3 within seconds of the round starting.
Things do be that way over towards B sometimes. It gets a little bit wild. Important there for Ultra, actually. I want to say that Hydra sitting on a 2 spree. Oh, it's sitting on a 4 spree, sorry. 2 off the cruise, of course, is not going to get it because Toronto Ultra wiped them off the map. Nice comeback so far from Ultra. Of course, we're only down 1 round. They were down 5-2 yesterday. They very much do have the ice. And it's important that they got that cruise missile potential away from Hydra. That locking that one in. Ultra 2-1 to the good.
Yeah, no, if anything, it's probably just a big counterplay, right? Like, they figured that one out. They hit it with numbers. Something out of the playbook. I doubt we'll probably see that exact same break from both teams again in this game. But this is the opportunity now. Can Ultra find something on attack to take it to 3-1, or do New York bring this back again? Already, New York overextending all the way past P2.
Oh, they're both going to be aggressive. They're both getting aggressive. Kleenex will find one. Oh, my goodness. I mean, the round is over in the blink of an eye. These things can happen when both these two teams start getting aggressive towards each other. Skies is laughing about this one. And Kismet, yeah, I mean, this is just clean up crew. There you go, 2 of the easiest kills that Kiz will ever find.
And well, I said it was being a little bit aggressive, but it turns out Ultra were going to match that and got caught. Didn't even get to really see that apart from the final kill cam, realistically. But last round was fast, this round was faster.
Yeah, sometimes you do get that, especially from the defensive team when they want to push around, get control of PD, disrupt whatever the opposition are trying to do, mostly over towards the B side. But again, very similar, not as aggressive, but both teams stacking towards this side. Hixie is surely getting challenged here.
Oh, he has been. He's gone down. Scrap with the sniper. Probably a little bit worried inside, giving him some cover all the way. And he has to back off as well. Scrap's now a little bit exposed. They could potentially find him as Scrap will get one onto Priester. Now backs up. Gets a second kill on Hydra. Must have been weak. And now Kismet is alone. But I'm going to need a replay of that one.
But weak off what?
I don't know.
I'm bewildered. Still a decent chunk of this round to play out. 40 seconds to go. Kismet has found himself in a position over towards the B side. Will plant it for Ultra side spawn. Will run himself over towards mid-map and just try and find a pick, see how things go, but information gained for Ultra 2v1 in their scenario. Kleenex is popped daddy, Kismet in trouble.
Trying to figure out they're coming through, and they found him. Kleenex does not mess around. Sniffs him out before he can do any more damage. Top of orange stairs. And that will be a defuse, but
I'm still
I don't know what happened with that scrap.
Confused.
That's what I'm thinking about. The pistol, man.
Maybe Kismet's put some bullets into Hydra there. We may well have a replay from the observer side. So Scrap hits him here. Has Hydra been hit coming into this fight?
Yeah,
yeah, that's it. Kismet shoots him and Scrap just gives him the quick one tap from the hip.
Oh, that's devastating as well. It did look a little bit crazy. I thought Scrap was instantly dead. We knew they had made their way through. They managed to sneak into laundry and get past. Yeah, New York had the opportunity to go further ahead, but at the moment, it will all be about Ultra. 7 and 3 on Kleenex, and again, they're being aggressive over towards P2, New York.
This is time for Ultra. You haven't matched it, but Scrap is there to just hold it down. The second shot is absurd. The first must have been clean as well. Kismet will even things up. Hixie will fall. But my goodness, Scrap has turned things around here for Ultra in these last 2 rounds. Bomb going down, 3v2.
He's looking for that last player, trying to keep his head down as well. Sky just going to be careful, he'll get a haircut. Kismet already moving through the challenge.
Got him.
And we'll find it.
Yeah, gets a bit of bad time in there, does Scrap. And now Kismet has got to be the catalyst. The Sublime is here. Glass smashing inside, knows exactly what's going on, but can he prevent it from happening? Yes, he can. Kismet falls, Sky's now 1v2.
Oh, he's already been tagged up as well. Gonna have to chow this in a second and look for the kill and hope for the God Beam. But they are, again, they're playing it this same angle, this same strategy. Do not give him an inch. Do not allow him to find anything. Inside takes the kill as well. And you got to feel a little bit bad for Kismet. He threw the stun in knowing Insight was up there, but it was just out of range. He couldn't get the stun. But this is what started the round. The 2 snipes from Scrap. Oh, that's actually like dead center of his head as well. That is pixel perfect.
Yeah, that's a great shot. It's one of those, you're sitting in rank play, you hit that, you're letting your team know exactly what's going on this side of the map. Nicely done from Scrap. First one is clinical, yeah, okay, well held. And if anything, it's a really good read from Ultra. Subliners have done that a couple of defensive rounds in a row. There's been a big hit towards this side. This time around, it's going to be Ultra the ones to do it themselves. Twitching over towards the trophy system. There you go, and you might as well get rid of it.
It might get him caught, though, but Kleenex will have his back. And it's a little bit tense here. New York do not have the map control they want, and Ultra have taken advantage of that. They pushed out towards P2. The only issue is, it doesn't always leave them in the best trade position.
Stun's coming out. Bit of info here for Ultra, who start to get aggressive. Hydra will find one at Hixie and just hightail it. Play towards the back is going to be an issue. He should be dealt with. He will be. Kleenex gets caught between a rock and a hard place, and all of a sudden Scrap left in a 1 versus 3. Sniper attack in hand, though.
Checks that as well. Now he's going to move forward. He is severely outnumbered here. That bomb is going to go down. Kismet pops up and it hits the hit marker. And Kismet takes the easy kill in the end. But that's what I was talking about P2, Tom, by the way. When you were that aggressive, there were 2 players pushed forward. It's not an easy trade situation for them.
Yeah, and because they actually push up to that side of the map, get aggressive for a certain moment, and then just sort of sit, that's okay. But then they start pushing towards the back, then you've got to play with somebody who may be up top PD. There's then players who can push out of the double doors behind you. It's a very tough situation to be in if you don't win your gunfights, and they were never easy ones for Ultra to find. Patient play from Subliners there. There was a couple of moments where they were just sort of kind of sitting tight, not necessarily having to make any moves. Ultra 4-3 to the good. Hixie 1 and 7. He's been the aggressor for the side of Ultra. He has been the one trying to make plays with that bomb. You can see he's got it in his hands right now, but he doesn't have much support. Those initial breaks are going to have to come from plays from him, and he may well find the shots into Kismet here. The long-range tag will get the job done. 4v3 for Ultra now.
I will say Hixie actually played really well there to stay alive.
Yeah.
I think all of New York were looking in the area, but nobody actually saw him. Kleenex gets another kill up the top as well. And Ultra have basically played New York for fools here, because Hixie was already pretty far up and nobody saw him. Hydra, though, going to try and make a difference. Can he bring his team back into this round?
It's the fight over towards PD. I'm more interested in Priest. They're trying to make a play, but Ultra just sitting nice and steady. We'll find one onto Insight. This now becomes a little bit more doable, especially with Hydra finding one to the bottom back, and Ellie finds the second. Hixie will clean up, and thankfully for Ultra, he does so. as they will find the round in the end. Things got a little bit scary there. I mean, if Hydra's heading up top AC, I'm not even trying to call that gunfight. Gets the job done in the end, but I mean, that got a little bit scary for just a second. Ultra still in control here, though.
Yeah, Neil did a really good job to even kind of bring that back to scary. 2 forward bomb down is never normally something you think about. But they found it. If he found that second kill, it would have come down to a 1v1. Or technically been 1v2 because Priest was alive. But it still would have been very, very difficult for them to do anything considering the time. But props for them finding the kills. Can they now rescue this S&D? 5-3 for them. Scrap is going to be on the cross. He hasn't seen anybody, so backs off.
Oh, it's a big grenade coming in from Kleenex as well. Straight up top, you have that through the window, and that's a stinger for subliners now. Ultra, number advantage in the round. Hixie, just happy to sit nice and pretty here. Now, did this player who is up top, which is Hydra, hear him? Yes, he did. He dives out, fires the shots into bottom laundry, and all of a sudden for Ultra, it's panic stations.
I've got to be careful because Kismet is also moving forward. And now, heavily in the advantageous position. Insight versus Kismet could be a factor. They're going to double chat it. They're going to double chat it. Here they come. There's one, and he doesn't get the second. Holds it off to begin with. Scrap, though, going to be on the actual flank as well. It's Hydra versus Scrap. And Scrap backs off because he only has a pistol. It's a good call.
Daddy. He's called Daddy in, though. Hydra will be getting no information now. Scrap in the prime position.
He's seen him as well. Sniper, pistol, Vaznev, all into play here as he tries to get the hit marker on a Hydra. Hydra's going up close, the pistol is out, the nade is out as well. Both for the one. Oh! And Scrap gets it! The 1v2! And he celebrates, he outplays Hydra with a dead silence, a sniper and a pistol and a Semtex. And Ultra take the S&D.
Oh, it's filthy from Scrap. And honestly, as soon as Hydra moves up onto the plant now, I'm thinking that this is done. He's just going to fly them. But the Semtex is held for so long from Scrap. Lays it down and says, yeah, come on, chow me. And John Wick himself, a couple of influential pistol kills coming through from the young rookie. Toronto Ultra, 2 to the good. And 2 very good maps out of them. Scrap 10 and 6, Kleenex matching. And the 2 youngsters from Toronto Ultra doing God's work for their side. Subliners didn't really have much of an answer there.
Yeah, that was, I mean, he's rightfully confident. He finds the 1 versus 2, hits the sniper. That was the easy play. The one that was stressing him out was trying to take on Hydra with the sniper and pistol. One wrong step could have proved disastrous, but he played it perfect. The dead silence, the getting in the right position, insane.
Yeah, really, really well played from the side of Scrap. And just patiently, if anything, the rest of his team did well to trade some kills towards them. And subliners, I want to say there was a couple of rounds that they looked like they were in a really good position, didn't get anything from that. They'll be going back to the drawing board on both those first 2 maps, but Control coming up, it's anyone's game still. We expected this to be a close one. It has been for the most part. Ultra just about edging it so far, though.
They have. Let's see if they can do it in map number 3. That is coming up after the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Call of Duty League.
of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CDL. This is our Scuff player of the game. The 1v2 from Scrap waits for it. Guess the pistol and guess the sniper. Now it's all pistol all the time, Ton.
It's just the daddy play. Hydra spots him here though. Couple of shots in, 35 HP. Not many of them landed from Hydra. If he managed to pull off the quick scope, that would have been something to talk about. But because he puts that Semtex down, Hydra has to chow. And he knows exactly the angle that he's chowing from. Hydra does not have the information on the Scrap. And he lets the camera know. Don't know what he's saying. Don't think it's nice things.
I think it was, wow, that was a genuinely enthralling 1v1. I'm glad we had that. I'm fair, and that's what he said. It was just a very nice thing to his colleagues on the other side and the other team. But yeah, moving forward into this control time, we were talking about it in the break actually, because this series has not been going the way we thought it was going to go. So tell me, do New York have a route back into this?
They possibly do, and it's maybe a bit of a strange one. Control in general has been very good for both these two squads. We know that in general, the stats across the board for both two teams in each and every game mode is well matched. But when it comes to El Estilo, we haven't seen a great deal from either one of these teams. Toronto Ultra haven't played this since the 16th of December, which is a long time. Last year, Bracey. It's a long time ago. But since then, they've mostly been playing inside of Fortress. They've been playing Hotel. We'll just have a quick reset here. We can discuss this whilst we wait. But New York haven't played this much at all with only one win themselves. They actually picked El Estilo, though. It was their opportunity to pick this or Hotel. They choose to go in the direction of El Estilo. Toronto haven't played in it a long time. New York's record's not good. So are we going to have a bit of a mid-off here? Or both these two teams potentially fix this? I know what the problem is.
Go on.
Hydra doesn't have his McDonald's next to him.
I don't think that's the general advice for anybody about to kind of launch into this high-octane gameplay, but I think some of the difference might be is realistically, Ultra feeling very, very confident since their team change, and the more wins they chalk up against big opponents, the more that confidence is going to grow and feel like they're doing the right thing. New York, after Major 2, questions were asked. Was it just a Major 1 thing they peaked early? Can they continue to build? For me personally, I still think New York are a top team. They just need to figure out these mistakes, iron it out, maybe help with their map pool or something. Something just needs to change in the background, and I think we'll see them going to dominate again. But the truth of it is, this is one of the most competitive leagues we've ever seen in the history of Call of Duty. So many teams have made moves that have improved them that there's about 8 teams right now that it wouldn't surprise me either way that the results went.
Yeah, it is difficult at this moment in time to try and predict where some of these top teams are going to go against each other when they do eventually match up. But I think you're right. You look, New York came out in Major number 1. The first couple of weeks looked terrible, quite frankly. But then since then, it seems like they figured something out on the pacing side of the game, but everybody else, it just feels like they're potentially catching back up. I'm really concentrating on what's going on in the Ultra Cam. I mean, they seem to be having a hell of a laugh. But looking over towards the CDL points, Sublime is still sitting pretty, as are Toronto Ultra.
They certainly are. Now, if you are watching this at home while we wait for this to start, take a good look at the CDL points. It's starting to get a little bit stressful for some of these teams. Last year, we talked about the bubble, about Major 3. We're on the cusp of that again. It is not easy to get these points. 50 from qualifiers and up to 65 during a Major. Some of these teams are quite far behind, and we don't think they're going to get a lot of points moving forward. A big win in the tournament could change their fortune, but a bad tournament could sink them lower than they already have. If you take anywhere from maybe 5th downwards, Minnesota Rocket all the way down towards it, that's probably what we're going to call the bubble so far until we see some separation. London Royal Ravens are in a horrible position. Florida are in a horrible position. LAG are in a horrible position. They need to be better. Fortunately, Boston Breach actually got themselves a little bit further out of it because they're now 3-0, Ton.
Yeah, they look really good, of course. Coming up again today in their 4th game ever since the change with Beans has come through. Boston Breach have looked good. They've had, I want to say, a favourable schedule as well. It hasn't necessarily been one of the hardest we've ever seen, but over towards everybody else here right now, Rocker 0-2, that's going to be disappointing from them considering how good they looked in Boston. Royal Ravens... I'm sorry, I'm very distracted.
You remember talking about confidence?
Yeah, I mean, it is seeping out of this guy. But just a quick touch on Ravens as they sit at 0-2 and very much at the bottom of the CDL standings as well. They actually look quite good yesterday, so I'm intrigued to see how they do carry things on. But I mean, if they could just get an ounce of this guy's confidence, then I think they'll be fine.
While we're waiting for this one to start, do you want to tell the story of how we met him?
Go ahead, Scrap.
So when we first met Scrap, so this is something that I don't think we've really talked about on stream so far, but the very first time I met Scrap anyway was in Minnesota last year.
Minnesota, wasn't it? Yeah.
And we were just having breakfast before we left for the next day, and Scrap was there with the rest of the Ultra boys and stuff, and he was already trash talking the pros. I have never seen that much confidence out of an amateur player at the time. It's not an act. That's just how he is all the time with everybody. He was trash talking pros before he went pro. And the truth is, he hasn't stopped, he hasn't relented, and he is doing it. So it's kind of crazy to kind of see him from like I said, an unknown who we're just having breakfast with at the same table, to all the way into the pro league and still doing it.
And one thing I actually want to comment on, I actually remember I was sitting there with Vortex as well, and Scrap came over, and I just seen Vortex's face. He was just like, man, this guy. Like, because I know we know what Vortex is be like in the challenger scene. Obviously, he's a good friend. I'm very biased towards him. Absolutely dominating that side of thing. But Scrap said no last year. Very much the talk of the town coming out of Vanguard. But heading into map number 3 is the talk of this series. He has had a hellish game. Kleenex also, I was in the other green room actually chatting to the guys whilst we were having a little break there, and I was telling Studdy, well, I think it's because Kleenex is having a blinder, and Studdy went, what does that mean? It means he's playing good, Jay. He's playing great.
Well, it's enough Toronto Ultra hype. And you see if now they can do everything they need to. New York, though, looking to regain here on this control. They will be on defense to begin with, but the man we've been talking about, Scrap, will try and get them into B first.
Very curious to see how these two teams do match up on this one. We, as mentioned, don't really have a great deal of statistics to come into this one. Both two teams not necessarily looking fantastic stats-wise on this map, but we haven't seen a great deal either. It's very much about how they're going to be playing on the day. So far, so good for Subliners, though. Good defense over towards the initial B push that a lot of teams will go for, and just about rebuttaling the attack over towards A as well. Good start here from the Subliners.
They are defending fantastically well, as I thought Ultra managed to get to there, but one of them was his teammate. They push Ultra all the way back again. You are correct. Very good start from them, and Kleenex, there's a missed nade, stays alive at the moment, but they need to get into a point to stop this clock.
Not much to talk about from the Toronto Ultra side. Attacking around so far has not been good, but it takes one good break when it does come down to control. It's only a 3-life lead for the side of Subliners, but time is very much not on the side of Ultra. That's a big kill from Kleenex, though. That's going to release some pressure, give him an opportunity to push onto Zone A, stop that clock. Hopefully they can lock this in and then send themselves over towards B. But look at the map positioning here from Subliners, just positioning themselves up top in Ultra spawn. It's very easy to transition over towards A or B from this position.
Inside, just trying to go on an Overwatch, trying to make sure those players cannot get past him. Then keep capturing A. That's all he's doing. Keep them away from the doors and the window. Allow your teammates an easy time. Here comes the push. He knows. He's trying to get through as well. Scrap goes for a chow, but there's 3 players there. Scrap, you got to be careful. Eventually, they are just throwing bullets through the doorway. And Ultra know exactly what New York are trying to do with this contest. The trades come through eventually, and Ultra will walk away with A in the time they need.
This guy's done really well to find the 2, but ultimately, Ultra are the ones who come away the beneficiary, but this guy's finding 3 is going to slow down the transition from Ultra, which is happening over towards the B side. Hixie now in a bit of a dangerous position. He could play spoiler to Subliners as they regroup, route themselves over towards B, and try and get themselves in a good defensive position.
Hixie has dead silence, so they shouldn't have heard him in here, but there's more awareness than anything else.
He popped it and stood still.
That's really silent.
Proper.
Hixie actually staying alive out of that. He somehow got away. Gonna find pressure as well. Looking for Kismet. Not gonna get it in the air.
Here we go, here we go.
Go through, and Ultra are on to B.
And he opens.
Turn the mic on for this one. I gotta react to this. Holy shit.
He waits for them to make their mistake. Skies is going to call in the streak, though. Only finds 1. That's still ticking up. 2 ticks at minimum for Ultra here. Subliners in a better position now, though.
It just takes up. It's the only one I have in the bank. It just takes up a bank space. I don't need it.
Mostly off the back of Skies. The cruise missile has done.
Here we go, Ski.
And now they're just trying to hold the line here as well. More kills going through. This is exactly what they need. Push Ultra all the way back as New York trying to take control.
Hell of an easy clue.
Hydra always going to hit this route. SMG players, that's what you gotta do. Get yourself up top, get yourself into green.
Damn, that would've been nutty.
From that sort of situation isn't necessarily the best, but he goes
Wonder
to
if
the
that'll
chance to
help.
down mid, finding the right insight.
Now here's the two big dogs.
Guys has managed to make a kill though. It's huge. If he can
Looking for a master clue. Hopefully, I don't want one of these at all.
While it will rain in with a nade, Hydra is sprinting at this. Not gonna get it in Ultra.
Oh,
20
dude.
seconds away from getting nothing in that round. Find 6 ticks and a round win.
I already have like fucking 5 of those.
Finds the kill on Hixie, know exactly where he is, and he gets super aggressive, which, I mean, it's in his nature. You don't want to leash the animal that he can be. But if he stays alive top green there, it will slow down the push from Toronto Ultra because they have to look for him. That's the point. As soon as he starts getting aggressive, goes back towards his teammates, and yeah, fortunate to get caught out. But nonetheless, if he plays his life maybe
The
a little
4
bit
I
better
need.
there,
Damn
maybe in a better situation to retake that one. Well played from Ultra there, though. It was looking pretty doom and gloom, I want to say, for the majority of the beginning of that round.
Big ticket item.
Nice transition over
Big
towards
ticket item.
Hixie. I was able to.
I don't ever get shit out of elites. Come on, game.
Series. I'll be
Give me something.
interested to know his numbers over these first 3 maps if they continue this way.
That is terrible.
Look for any sort of opening.
Terrible, man.
Hydra combining. Now trying to get inside away from top radio. It's still an issue for them. He'll be putting trophies down. He'll be peppering them every single place he can. It might be that New York have to ditch this and go for B.
They found a kill over there, actually. Priesta will find it on Hixie.
Not too great. It's definitely some cash, though, for sure.
Map as well. If they can get rid of Kleenex as well, that will be a bonus. He is going to find one into Hydra. Not having a great control himself at this moment in time. Skies 10-3, making 11-3 now.
I can't believe I didn't get shit out of those clues.
What a waste. Insight is there as well. You can see from Ultra, when things get a little bit scary over towards the B side,
74k elite clue.
And then they flank from
wow.
Hixie is able to find one. Still a little pressure here on Ultra. New York subliners will transfer that pressure over towards A.
I think it was actually great play by New York. They gave it up in the end.
Yeah.
To get themselves
that bad boy.
Clock stopping in that ticket B, but pretty much a clean A. Be a very difficult retake here for Ultra if they go for it. Insight's already going to find Priesta. There's going to be a player up radio tower. That'll be Skies.
Yep, fire in there.
Trying to make sure that nobody gets into the players in the point, and they have just stopped it. With
can't wait till I get the
second to go.
so I can do the mage.
Up here and
AFK mage chance.
He's 14-4. Skies trying to throw New York on his back because A is so close. It's just a transition.
I grind that bitch for a little bit with how many kills I got.
Presence over here as well. Priesta locking down the AR routes where he can and just finding every gunfight. That might be the round. It might be done.
I think it is. I think it's done and dusted. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
New York played that perfectly. He almost didn't get A, but when you got Skies just treading everybody he sees on that side of the map, they keep using one side of the map to open up the other side. And Ultra were just chasing their tails back and forth.
Kind of getting dragged across the map, weren't they? Skies is having a absolute beast of a game here. Oh, in map number 3 at least anyway. Just dominating over towards the radio tower. His SMGs haven't necessarily been setting the world on fire here. It's a very poor game by Hydra standards. But they find the round. It's an attacking round apiece now. New York over towards the defensive side.
Priesta setting up for this one as well, but the kill doesn't matter because it's coming for his teammate, and while Insight will get one, they are going to be outnumbered for a few seconds. Hydra knows this, goes for a check in the close corner. Not found anybody so far, knows where the player's going to be. Guns in regardless, and now keeps on moving. Hydra just flies out into the open, and that may have been a bit of a mistake.
Honestly, I want to say he's made a couple. But he's that kind of player you can't tell him to not chow things, because if he starts doing that, he's not the kind of player he is.
It's I think it's only 30 attack, 30 magic, believe it or not. 30 attack, 30 magic, that's cakesy. And then, but unfortunately, fortunately,
it's a good clear from New York subliners though, as the attack's still
I just looked it up and I forgot I do have to do this.
Yeah, that's maybe hard to see. Does eventually
I have to up, you can, once, if you have the base one, the smoke battle staff, you can upgrade it to the mystic smoke staff, and it's magic, stats, and melee stats get better. So yeah, you're gonna have to do that, and that makes it 40 attack and 40 magic.
Free spray coming through. Kismet and Priesta over towards the front side as Skies just controls the flank as best as he can. Hydra now going to push into the middle of the map. I would imagine those lives are not favorable for Ultra. who have not really had a sniff yet. One tick towards A is all they have to their name. Kismet is going to get caught though. It's another push over towards B, maybe a bit of a distraction tactic.
It looks like, for New York at least, I was going to say they've managed to find a new gear because that engine is purring for the guys on New York. They're looking much more confident around this map. They are shutting down Ultra everywhere they go. Right now, Ultra on A, and New York look like they might make a chat onto this. They've got players moving in for it as well. Kismet and Hydra combining for 3, and this is what I meant. They are feeling themselves. They are running, they are gunning, and Ultra are moving scared.
That's a big kill from Kleenex though coming in. It's going to be a hit over towards B for the side of Toronto Ultra. They spawn here, but they spawn into danger. Scrap is there to find one. Scrap will find a second as well. Priester on the flank. Still doable here for Ultra.
And it's going to be difficult for them though. Kleenex will find Hydra as he moves forward. Time still stopped. They're going to go for the chow. Hixie knows where it's coming from, but Priester is already laying in wait. Dead silence popped, and right now Ultra still can't rely on their flank. They're worried about it as Kismet will find one as well. That clock is ticking again. Kismet almost finds the second. Trade still abound for both teams, but Ultra still alive.
Ultra only 6 lives remaining here. Shots coming in. Are they going to actually lock B in? It's looking that way. One more kill. Priester is there to maybe shut it down. No, he is not. So 5 lives remaining. Contest comes through. No, he jumps through the front door, finds 2. And that might just slow things down here now for Ultra. The gunfight's not going their way. Both points so close. Scrap inside the point. But only 2 players left from Ultra.
The 2 versus 12, he will get the
looks the same, but it's better.
Mean anything at the end, we don't know. 5 ticks for Ultra, but it is not 6. They will lose their attacking round ton.
Now it'll be even better for Mage.
Getting a hold of both. Things getting very stressful for what was for the most part.
So yeah, now it's 40 attack, 40 Mage. That's not bad though.
We're finding small gaps, and Subliners were just about jamming the fingers of Toronto Ultra in the door as they try to pry themselves through. Very, very close round. Yeah, okay, the lives were influential, of course, towards Subliners. But ultimately, they close it out where they need to find the important kills towards the end now. For the side of Ultra, you've got to defend as well. Subliners held the defense and won an attack. Can Ultra do the same?
And this is where it does get a little bit stressful if you're Ultra. Keep in mind that obviously if New York win this round, they win this map regardless. But they are now significantly ahead in lives. So if New York can lose this but still get 5 ticks, they will have defense as well. Really just comes down to, is Ultra, can they bring themselves back?
Ultra have not had anyone on the flank here so far. A little bit of a difficult position to be in. Scrap trying to find some numbers here. 12 and 21 from him. Both 2 enigmatic players on either one of these lineups, not necessarily having the best of games. Insight having to call the crews in as well, just to slow things down here.
Yeah, it's a little bit stressful coming through. Let's find out how it is going, though, in the Toronto Ultra camp with a listen in.
They gave me an absolute banger of attacks, too, by the way.
Good push that, bro.
210.
In our low gym now.
When I saw that, I was like, no way. I didn't even know that was possible. I looked it up just to make sure. I thought it was you could get anywhere from 130 to 200. But you can get anywhere from 130 to 210. So I got literally the max number you could get. Game's gonna give it to you, bro. Let's go. It's gonna give it. Give it ever.
I'm gonna try play towards
dive around top, bro.
Okay. I'm gonna try and get fucking exit kills. Top mid. I'm in B house. Hello, lockers.
Go help.
Weak on me.
Make a push,
I'm on right. Really weak as well, right side. Went back to the stairs. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Top mid. Top mid got me. I have our top one. He jumped down. Bottom. He mid cakes.
Lockers now 2 there.
2 now spawn. 2 now spawn.
Yeah. One's a B, 2 on spawn.
Lock's dead.
Top
Mount. Weak, Charlie. Mount dead. Nice. I'm in tools. Tools dead. 3. Last guy. Caesar. Yep. Yeah, he's probably gonna be slow. Maybe top right mid. I think he's outside somewhere. He's underneath me. Ace and D, weak kids. Cakes. Underneath me. Nice, good.
Where? I got Zoe.
Bro. No, I'm good.
Watch heavy.
I hit the right.
Ivy front out, stop out.
Well, cool and calm and collected from Ultra as always. But they are only just holding on in this game. 1 tick down on B is all that New York have got. But 2 more and this map ends.
Yeah, barely holding on. New York Subliners are really slayed out where they've needed to. Skies is the only one remaining, though. The side of Subliners for the moment. Can he continue to lock down the spawn of Ultra? Hixie just going to try and push forward, trying to influence as best he can. Good kills coming in here, though. 45 seconds or so. Yeah, okay, Ultra will be down in lives, but it matters not if you can just keep Subliners away.
Subliners now positioning all across the map. They're going to try and hit this with 1 big hit. That's what they want. Hydra's going to go down already. Inside gets the second one. Sorry, Kleenex gets the second. And New York, they were trying to line up. They were trying to position for a big hit, but they cannot get the bodies in position where they need them.
Sky's still towards the back. Could be the catalyst for a play here. Hixie goes for the challenge and finds it. Heated up just a little bit in this round.
Shit.
And he may well be a big reason as to why Ultra send this to a round number 5. Big gunfight coming here. It's going to be up against Hydra. Just needs to bail out the rest of his team, getting the job done. Hydra is going to be there to maybe cause issue, but Kismet, the last one alive, a really solid hold coming in from Ultra. They find the round and send us to a round number 5.
And I think New York only got 4 ticks there as well. So it should be Ultra on defense, but I will say, I think it was a little bit of Hixie. You said sometimes you don't get a lot of kills. They can be influential. And what they were doing there was staggering New York away from being able to make that push. New York wanted to hit it at once and try to trade out around the point and come out on top of those trades. But they could never hit it as a 4. They could never get in position because Ultra were just being tricky. They wouldn't give them the angles. They wouldn't commit to anything. And Hixie was picking people apart.
It was looking scary for quite some time, though. But Control is one of those modes. It doesn't matter how you start. It is very much about those influential kills. Both teams find an attack. Both teams find a defense. It will be Ultra on the defensive side to kick off round number 5. Which way does this one go? Kismet through the middle of the map. Can't find that first kill. I think for Ultra, they've never really had an opportunity to pin subliners in off the rip. They may well hear those. They find 2 kills.
Hydra's now going to try and just get some kills, but nobody's be able to get any. Scrap finds another one. Inside's on a 5 streak as well. The slaying was in favor of New York. But at the moment, Ultra are just going scorched earth on them.
They haven't got a kill yet. If you're in New York, that's a scary start towards this time. Hydra will find one. I think Kismet may well be dead here, though. The grenade will get him out. Scrap could be in trouble. He'll have to back down as well. But only 2 kills falling so far for the side of subliners. It's not a good start.
And New York are trying to find something here. If they can bring this back in this game at the moment, it will be pretty superb because they are just not finding any way through. Insight's on the 6th streak. Has another cruise missile coming through, and he's just dancing around. He finds Kismet as the rest of New York are in position here, but they cannot find Insight on the 7th streak.
He's played that so well. Finds the kills, dances around, wastes their time, gets out. 7 spree from him. The rest of his team starting to fall, though, so needs to find himself in a position where he can do something.
I'm watching the end of this game. It's about to be over.
It's going to come flying in. That's bar control now for subliners. A little bit of life coming from the New York side. What was a fantastic start for Ultra. Streaks are available for them, though. That's going to make a difference.
And the key thing to know here is New York can do this very much. They have time. They have more than enough lives. It just takes one good break. They could not find it in the previous round. They'll be looking for it this time.
Good shots coming in from Hixie here. Looking to try and clear out. Another big gunfight going to come in. Priester will find it, though, over towards that B side. So that gets a little bit scary. Toronto Ultra have to dig the trenches and hold on tight now.
See New York are setting up again. They're looking for it. If they just get the kills to go their way. Kleenex somehow stays alive and dips out of it. I don't even think it hit him. They are just being annoying every single step of it. Bear in mind, there is still a cruise missile ready to come in.
Good shots coming in from Kleenex, but with the Vaznev, that's not going to do much from that angle. Insight has to stay alive, and just the fact that he is alive and kicking helps the squad here. Here comes the cruise missile now coming on through. The rest of the team need to put themselves in a position to do something about this, though.
He's looking just to get it. There's going to be a trophy there as well. The trophy deflected. New York are in position. They're in that first tick as well. Insight's going to find one. Can he find any more? New York still have bodies in this area with 36 seconds left to go.
Next few kills are massive. Scrap backs down. Did he stick him? No, he didn't. Still a lot of presence from New York over towards this B side, but 26 seconds. Time is running out as our lives.
And New York are now trying to move. Hydra has to be everything for him. The furthest player up from New York. With 18 seconds left, it's time to commit, but they've already lost the bodies. Sky's looking for it. 27 and 18, he's been gunning, but gunned he is. And Kismet, how big is the dog in him? Because it has to be Cerberus at this point to come back into this game. As he moves, he has to die for the point. There's no choice. He gets onto, he stops the clock with 1.2 seconds. Is this going to be enough at all? Kismet's still gunning.
Hydra is still alive in the point, but he's the last one alive. The last bastion for New York subliners. Can he get it done on his own? This would be something. Instead, nearly a 1 versus 3 as the rest of Ultra file their way through. Surely Hydra is dead. Ultra 3-0.
Damn.
And I'll tell you something, it didn't feel like it was that much out of the realm of possibility. Lives pays. And all that work Ultra did at the beginning of the round, it came back to them because they managed to win that on lives alone, but it was close.
A great control. Honestly, both these two teams had their moments throughout. Both of them had opportunities to win rounds that were seemingly getting away from them very, very quickly. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how close the maps are. It doesn't matter what the scoreline says. The main one is that the series scoreline is over towards Ultra. That is 2-3 to 0s against strong opposition. But I feel like we've been saying this about Ultra quite a lot throughout the season, that they look fantastic. The consistency is where we want to see things improve for the side of Ultra. Consistently putting up 3 to 0s against two of the best teams in the game, though, is a good way to start.
Yeah, and maybe this is where we now need to start putting Ultra a little bit higher in our estimations as we meander our way to Major 3. Those are 2 big scalps they've managed to take, and if they can convert that into a Major 3 performance, it is looking scary for the competition, Ton.
Yeah, they look really, really solid there. I think, you know, we talk about kills, etc. For the side of Hixie, it wasn't necessarily there, but when he finds those kills, that always seem to be important. He's setting his team up for success. Had a good game, but Kleenex was kind of final throughout that whole entire series. Pricey, I'd be very intrigued to see what the numbers are saying on that one.
Yeah, me too. Well, it's time to go for our breakdown with our wonderful desk.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, and congratulations to Toronto, who continues to roll. Since Hixie's joined this roster, they've dropped 1 map, 3 straight series wins, and you just took out the number 2 seed in a 3-0 fashion. Allie, let's start with Hixie and in the numbers he dropped in that game.
All right, I'm going to be back in a couple minutes for a little
36. He had over 60 engagements. What does that mean he's doing to the, on the map? What's he bringing to the team?
64 engagements. That is insane. The second I saw that scoreboard, I was like, this is supposed to be your OBJ player. This is supposed to be the lower engagement, impactful kills. This is supposed to be pushed up in the spawn, getting a couple sprees going. He was in the mix throughout this entire El Asilo to try and relieve the pressure of the rest of his teammates. I can't wait to talk to a member from Toronto Ultra and kind of ask them, like, what in the world was this guy doing to get 60 engagements on El Asilo? But regardless, Toronto Ultra just continuing their control dominance across the board. I was wondering, you know, they were already so good at it, and with the addition of Hixie, could they possibly get better? Having a player that's going to be in that spawn awareness, that's going to start that spawn trap, and it did somehow. This was a dominant win on this El Asilo. Obviously, it went to round number 5, but just some of the plays Toronto were making on the map, New York is no team to sneeze at when it comes to respawn.
Nameless, I was looking at some of the numbers here. Toronto was getting outslayed for the first half of this game 3, right? Yep. New York was bringing it to him. Skies was seemingly in control of this map. How did Toronto clutch up, though, and shut down New York in that final round?
Well, in the final round, I mean, you just saw they had a really good setup. Insight gets over towards AC. They're getting the spawns and back palms by Cliff, so they just basically had control the majority of the time. But I actually think they got the victory earlier in the map. We saw the first 2 offenses were won by either side of things, but really it was that second offense from Toronto getting nearly every tick, almost winning that round, got to the very end. Their offense is so good, and it's because of what Ali was saying when it comes to Hixie. He got inside of their base, he pops his daddy, he's playing his life, right? So now you got him and Kleenex both being annoying, and then Insight and Scrappy just picking up kills left and right. So just a great control, and now it looks like El Asilo is going to be a part of one of their dominant map pools, which will make this team even more dynamic.
We had a chance to talk with Hixie. We talked to Scrap. Tonight we want to talk with Kleenex, the unsung hero of this team right now, and it looks like you're starting to enjoy the addition of another SMG to the lineup. Kleenex, talk to me about tonight's win. How did you feel about matching up against the subliners, and how do you feel now knowing that you just sent them home with a 3-0?
We know how good New York are for teams, so, you know, we matched up pretty well against them. You know, first time with Charlie playing them, so not much to expect, but, you know, it went pretty well.
Joey, congratulations. Now you start 3-0 Major 3 qualifiers, looking good for winners so far. And I just want to say a personal congratulations to you, because this has been the most consistent that you have played as an individual recently. And I want to know, is that something that just, you know, affected your gameplay and the fact that you've just been obviously putting in the work and you just hit a flow state? Or is Hixie kind of, you know, some of the reason for that as well when he was added to the squad?
I feel like it's kind of both things. Like Charlie helps me free up a lot on the map. I can just do whatever I feel like I want, but I also feel like I'm starting to finally translate how I play in practice into the matches we play. So yeah, both Hixie and then, you know, also just starting to play better and feel more comfortable with the team.
Kleenex, congratulations on the win. I mean, these last 3 wins have just been insane, especially the last 2. You guys are looking phenomenal. And I want to ask you, you know, when you guys made this decision to bring in Hixie to the squad, was it directly because of like how it would help you perform better? Was that like the discussion, like, okay, these are things I want to do on the map. We need Hixie to come in.
It wasn't specifically me, but he makes the game a lot easier, and for everyone, Scrappy likes to just fly. So Charlie's just the most fundamentally sound player we could get, and he's really good at doing his job and playing his role. So just the perfect fit for us, and the perfect fit for, you know, all of us.
So when people look at numbers and stuff, they'll probably be like, well, Hixie isn't dropping the same numbers that Standy was dropping. Can you explain to the fans, the Ultra fans at home, and the rest of the COD community what Hixie does for you guys that's making you guys roll like this?
He has the best comms out of our team. He can lead our team. He can be an IGL when we need to step up. S&D has improved quite a lot because of him. You know, came in with his strats, came in with his touch of gameplay, and just like everything just helped as soon as he came in. So just that type of guy.
Kleenex, final 2 questions for you. This one's coming from the chat. Are any of your teammates related to Tactical Rab, and are you related to him?
I'm not related, but we got a guy over there, you know who I'm talking about, Scrap.
Young son.
Looks quite similar, right?
A little bit. And then the last question we had for you is who was harder or who was easier? Was it Optic or the Subliners today? Because you beat both teams 3-0.
I'd say New York's definitely harder. Wasn't quite sure what Optic was doing. They weren't looking quite like themselves, so I'd say New York was the harder team. Just well-rounded and pretty good to play against, or pretty hard to play against, I'd say.
Appreciate the honest feedback, and congratulations on another 3-0. Your numbers were ridiculous today. We'll let you go celebrate with the team.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night, guys.
That's Kleenex, and Toronto continues to roll, baby. We've got a lot of exciting matches still to go. 3 more today. Before we get to the next one, though, reminder, you can pick up your CDL gear right now. Shop.callofdutyleague.com. It's hoodie weather out here in Ohio right now.
That Vegas Legion one is fire. I feel like every time we get like a new rollout of hoodies, they just keep getting better. Those are nice.
And of course, if you don't want to wear your gear just outside a game, you can also wear it on the map as well. Nameless, we've got 12 to choose from here. I'm looking at the left side. I feel like we need to see a little bit more Mutineers in my lobbies. No one's been rocking one of those recently. Do you think the Mutineers who are playing next could get some folks excited at home?
I mean, they got the best goggles there, right? Like, I like that orange that they got going on. I think they can. We'll see. We'll see if the hard point is a little bit better.
Mutineers are coming up actually in that 3rd match. When we come back, though, this should be another banger. It's going to be number 8 versus number 4. The Surge have not dropped a map. Will they be able to keep it going? Tonight, they match up against your LA Thieves, runners-up from Boston Major 2.
So what's the plan? Same crew, but this time, we take everything.
Picked up 3 in a row, looking to take care of the entire squad, and he's done it. Here we go. Number 2. Coming in. They haven't got the first thing, but yet Kenny on the flank. Kenny on the flank. Kenny!
Welcome back, everybody. It's match 2 of a 4-day match day on a Super Saturday here for the CDL. We're going into Major 3. We're currently in qualifiers week 2, and we're about halfway done. This matchup, though, could be the best on the weekend because we have a surging Seattle squad taking on the LA Thieves, who just took out our #1 seed in Atlanta. So some top caliber play on both ends of this matchup. But which runner-up do you have more faith in, LA Thieves or Seattle Surge? Because Surge, they got runners-up in Raleigh. We saw LA Thieves, of course, get second in Boston.
That's a really tough one. It's almost like you're asking for my prediction right now, which when we head to the maps and mobs may go either way. But to be honest, it just depends what Seattle Surge that we get today. Because if we got the Seattle Surge that just played the Minnesota Rocker, that was a hot 3-0.
Taking a look at the Thieves' first-tier name list, we got to talk about Draza. He's been playing a lot of ranked, right? We see him in the top 10 right now. Yeah. He's also been shooting a lot of bodies. He's setting the tone in and out of game with his trash talk, and he's not afraid to fight anybody. But what makes this Thieves squad dangerous? They just handed Atlanta a very difficult loss.
Well, I mean, they're a top 3 hardpoint team in the game on the season, so they've been unbelievable when it comes to that. And then also, fundamentally, this team is extremely sound. They have a really good camp, good coaching staff. They're world champions, so they know how to win. Everybody's been there on the biggest stage before. So when they have an issue, they're really good at identifying it and figuring it out, which is why we saw them steamrolling in Search and Destroy in their losers bracket run. And coming into this one, we also saw them crack the code when it comes to Atlanta FaZe. They lost them in the finals. They go up in this series, playing maps, expanding their map like Embassy Hardpoint, which they're now winning. So dominant in Hardpoint can lead to victories when you're solid in the other 2 games.
Now the Thieves have dropped to the Surge in the past. That was way back on December 16th. It was 3-1 to Surge, who took both of the hard points. Let's talk about Seattle recently, though, because this squad has struggled online, at least up to Major 3's qualifiers. They're now 1-0. They haven't dropped a map yet, but can you keep that momentum going up against the Thieves today?
They need to have a really strong respawn against Thieves today. From what we saw against their Minnesota Rocker, that hotel win on the Search and Destroy 6-1 was because Mac was having an absolute series, 10-3, and Civ was also 8-2. But I'm not convinced that their Search and Destroy is fixed right now. Thankfully, they're going against an LA Thieves team that also struggles in that game mode, but they have to take those respawns. I'm looking at that map 1 hotel. They beat LA Thieves early on when they first smashed up on that map in 250 to 198 fashion, and they're squaring up on it again.
Let's talk a little bit about our predictions real quick. We're skipping maps and modes. Nameless, where are we leaning?
I'm going to go with LA Thieves.
LA Thieves, give me a score.
I'm going to go 3-1 LA Thieves.
3-1 LA Thieves. Allie?
Seattle Surge, 3-1.
3-1 Surge. I'm feeling a game 5, and I hear it's on Fortress. Let's throw it to our casters. They're ready to go. We got Miles and Chance. Chance, unbutton another button for me.
Hey, yeah.
That's okay.
Oh, crazy start to this one. I'm going to have to go down a little bit, aren't I? But yeah, very excited to get into this series. Cannot wait to see how this one rolls out. We've got a very, very exciting respawn series ahead of us, I think, Chance. Search and Destroy, hey, man, who knows? It could be a great day for the guys at Seattle Surge. It could be, back to business. But here we go. They're looking at the maps and moons. We did skip on the desk. Hotel, Double Asilo, Hydro, Fortress. Chance, anything crazy there that sticks out for you?
Well, obviously, Search and Destroy is sort of the name of the game for Seattle. We have beaten that talking point to death. However, Maps 3 and Map 4 have basically been auto vetoes for Surge the entire year. And, they're now 2 for 2 for choosing Hydro to play. So, a map that previously they banned all the time, now they're getting things in the mix. So, I think Seattle, post-Major 2, have been making significant adjustments, not just to Search and Destroy, but their entire game. So, I think sort of sneakily Surge have been working on things behind the scenes.
We'll see what happens. Again, all of this is just practice for champs, right? That's what the game is. Let's find out what the game happens here, though. Over to Hotel Hardpoint map number 1. We roll Max the Man on the time. LA Thieves. It's a classic look here on the opening break. The tags are in. It's 3 down. It's all over to Sib, and that should be the hard point for the Thieves.
Yeah, super controlled opening break. Get the ARs posted up, L-triggered, watching over your teammate inside the hill. And they haven't read the spawns just yet because Accuracy has ended up taking a pretty long route to go on this flank. And you see Seattle looking to break it down. Final few trades coming through. And Accuracy eventually, as soon as he jumps into the play, gets the final 2-piece and gets Seattle that time.
Yeah, it's a lovely time to add as well. There's 15 plus seconds now to go into the back of the bank, over towards the back side of the hotel, though. Now Kenny's going to get a little bit of fresh air before hitting a sweet corner to stop the push now from Seattle Surge. They're looking towards that P2 hardpoint. That's the lobby. That's the right-hand side of the mini-map. And here comes the hit. Kenny, he's got all the positioning in the world, but no problem. His teammate's got the kills from the front. Good luck from the Thieves. That's the first hit slowdown.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. Kenny's only job is not to die. His teammates get all the kills for him, and he blocks those spawns, and now gets to jump on the play and pick up the 2-piece just to slow the approach down. And you see, as soon as a player like Matt crosses, that's just Octane feeding the comms. He's going to be out towards the back, and like clockwork, LAT, everything covered. They know exactly where the players on Seattle are coming up. And for the moment, not really feeling too much pressure on this game. And if Brett gets that kill, maybe the pressure opens up just a bit, but these are looking nice and secure.
Well, this might be the pressure. It hasn't quite finished yet. Sib's going to be the last man there on the play. Cleans up the kills. That's going to be a hard point now for Seattle. However, they haven't quite identified the remaining members of the LA Thieves. Most of them on the rotation towards Nu. Only one staying behind towards the old there. So a little bit of time wasted there on P2 towards the end for Seattle, but still nothing too much of a problem. Can they win the fight for Kitchen now, though? All down to Mac and the 1v2 here, trying to find a couple of shots in and out of the most difficult gunfights you may find here on the map.
Well, right now, Seattle have just been behind the game, so they're forced to break into these hills, and this is probably the most difficult one to break of the ones they've had to jump on, and instantly, the door just gets closed on them. A 3-man wipe in Accuracy. He gets sniffed out as well. Good trades through and through, and that's sort of the problem of, yes, Seattle might be able to collect that scrap time, but if you're consistently behind on these rotations, eventually, you're going to get punished, and so far, it's looking like the Kitchen Hill has been the one that delivers for LAT.
Here we go, 30 plus seconds remaining on this one, trying to get in. Sib with a nice bit of shots there with a Vaznev. Not really enough to get too much more out of it. 25 remaining. Trophies all over the place. Pred, though, in the feed. He might be the man. Keep this play alive and kick. And Kenny cuts him in half on the backside of the Kitchen there, and that should be the end of it. 5 spree there from Kenny. Now, with that being said, let's see how the Thieves are going with a quick listen in.
Sib and P2, Okay. I'm trying to play. He's stay P2. I got it. Yeah, play your kills, play your kills. Pretty deep, yeah. I'm gonna mid, guys. I'm gonna late mid. Yeah, I'm couch right now. Yeah, I think. Couldn't have got it. No, got it. Okay. He's on D2, guys. On D2. I'm playing the mid side. Yeah, play the mid lobby. At the lobby. Yep. D2. Got it. D1. Yeah, it's fine. I got it. I can't shot. There's two. I'll get it. You push out bar. I'm gonna go left. Alright, one is in bottom bed. Alright, I'm gonna play the lobby down here. I'm gonna have to mid. You can pitch our cat or something like that? One is in bottom bed. Alright, just in case. Alright, sir. I'm gonna need down to the sun. Yeah. You jump across. I'm gonna jump across, yeah. Take it. Actually check on top of the heat. Alright, sir. I'll get it. Lamar's on your 4, I think. Low bed, he's pushing through. And lobby. Low bed. Low bed, not push me. Lobby. Two lobby. I can help you. I'm pushing. Yeah, I'm just living. There's two here. Set 10. They're not challenging lobby shit. There's two here. Get him out couch. Use native white, guys. Any help? I'm here.
I'll play the back.
I'm helping you white, though. I'll send you one, bro. I'm in down. Alright. Behind me, lobby. I have secret, bro. Lobby. Guys, one in white. Okay. I'm living. I'm gonna tell what you do. Yeah, I'm gonna dub it. Okay, go. I got time. In white, just right out. One dead. Nice job. Why you doing? Wait.
Well, just like that, the comms for LAT might be on cruise control, but the gameplay was from Surge. Finally, they get ahead of rotations and turn that into a good chunk of time, and hey, built the most sizable lead of the game.
Sizable trying to hold on to it now, though. They've got a little bit of a battle to work through on the inside of the restaurant Envoy. Nice flank. Nobody get the kill, though. Oh, he's making it a fight against Pred. Just about wins it. Accuracy there on the outside. Clean hard point wipe there. Seattle Surge, the time's theirs.
I mean, hey, they might have been behind the game early on, but if the breaks have been this consistent on every single hill, they can make the best out of a bad situation. Maybe Kenny trying to be the fry man for the squad, though. He's got 16 kills. You feel like you'd be getting more value long-term out of them, but it's only these final 10 seconds, and this is a rotation I wish my rank play teammates would pay more attention to. Of LATs and Seattle, all the pressure is back kitchen, even though the hill is on plat. It's because if you get ARs in those positions, you get the guys out of the hill, so that's where you apply the pressure. That's where you try to make the break from, and see how LA2 are able to fare.
Well, when you talk about your rank play teammates, you may as well just say it to my face. With that being said, now we're going to dive to a listener with Seattle Surge so that I can compose myself after that dig.
Bottom bed on me, guys. Bottom bed, one shot. Sado dead. Bottom bed, one shot. He went to front side, bottom bed. I'm one shot, guys. I'm helping you. Back. He's laying down back. Is he bottom bed? Yeah, he's laying down back. Kenny was bottom bed. I want to need HP. I'm in the hop. Dead. Last guy fighting mid. Mid or top. I'm looking. He's top. On time. I'm stand up. I'm trying to find camera. I'm behind me on top. I'm back. Back again, Amir. I'm behind him. They're all spawning pond. Kenny's backstairs. Okay. I'm coming up. Help me. I'm coming. Backstairs. On time. I'm going. They're gonna be double. Go to Cat. He's here. Double carry. My small carry.
Yep.
Double dead.
I'm almost gonna get the snap real quick.
He's dead. Nice. He got me in charge. He went to the first to wine. He's going to wine. That's him. Our desk. Dub archers. Our desk said one's dub archers. Dub archers to the cat.
Seattle Surge certainly bringing the heat here. Envoy a nice 2 there, cleans up the last few
First
players.
kill hammer.
First set of hard points now come to a close. Oh, baby, it's a wonderful opener there from Surge.
Yeah, now the last guy in the hill for LAT, as you can see, Surge are just swarming all over the map. Flipping spawns, getting shot in the back. His accuracy is basically putting you in the pinch at the exact same time. And Mac doing the world tour just to be able to clear out couches and try to accrue maybe this little bit of time and able to deliver. That is a massive route that turns into a 2-piece on the hill, and Surge have been able to do that every single time on this P1 hill.
We promised a good respawn, and it is a banger so far. Here comes the last bit of pressure towards P1 before we have to go over towards that lobby side. Seattle Surge in position over here. Pred's going to be the man first in. Every possible corner now should have a Seattle Surge tushy in it. Get ready for the hit from the Thieves. Here they come. It's going to be through that bar side. Sib's the first man in. First kill goes his way. The second as well. Traded out. Here's the next wave of attack, though, from the LA Thieves. Not quite out of this yet. Mac finds another. That's a clean set of kills. Last man, Kenny, tagged up. Easy reads. More time to Seattle.
Yeah, and Civ on this side of the map has just been the straight-up difference maker for the team. And now you get Pred to snap in position after the fact and clean up those kills. Nice little 6-spree for him. Get the cruise missile and maybe just the stamp on the game. If you're LAT, I don't know if you want to bother with Pred's side of the map. Maybe try a different angle, but this is just going to be Civ's side, and they deal with Pred, they deal with Civ, and that dynamic duo fucking both sides down.
Smoke on him. 20 seconds left. The game will not end here, but it is going to get very close indeed. Oh, a big win from Envoy in the back. Stops the bleeding for a moment. Rotations down. LA Thieves are in. Can they make something of this? Pred wins another absolute stinker. Matt gets his on the inside of the kitchen, and that could be game.
I mean, this is just the absolute torture. Look at how far away Thieves are just to try to think about this rotation. I mean, Octane's in position. Envoy maybe not too far behind, but it's another 10 seconds before you can think about even contesting the time, let alone about winning the gunfights to get there. It's a couple trades early on, but now it's a snake battle inside a kitchen.
Oh, good luck. Accuracy on the back door. Here comes Envoy. Doesn't read the corner. Here's the hit towards
barely
the right.
see the green squares. Like
it's over. It's all Seattle all day there on Hotel. What a closeout, son. Didn't see that one coming, but GG's. Seattle take the first.
I mean, that is just an instant game as well. I mean, I think LAT won the first rotation up through like kitchen. Then Sid goes on like a 5-spree on the rotation over towards desk. And after that moment, Seattle literally never looked back. As soon as they got control of the game, They held it firmly in their grasp. They just started taking him to task. And I mean, you had a pretty lights out performance, at least early on from Kenny. I mean, in the kill feed, he was ever present. It just did not make a difference towards the end. 11 and 22 out of Octane, 11 and 20 out of Drazit, nearly double negative for Envoy as well. As soon as the site kicked up, just a notch, not even like an absurd amount for
Enough
Seattle.
of those,
it just
bro.
turned into a snowball effect, and they ran them over like a truck. That is a clinical performance.
Cringe every time I see
more
one.
non-tradeds than nearly every single player had kills for Pred versus LA Thieves. You know you're getting the dub.
It was looking great.
Gotta get rid of him quickly. Gotta get rid of him quickly.
Only one player able to manage to get over 2,000 damage alone. Kudos to Kenny for that one, but not
getting it right
enough
now would be like
from the rest of the squad. Here are the highlights from that first match.
unreal time to get it.
Search came to play today. We'll see if the search and destroy
just be
treats them
so
as kindly
unbelievable.
as that Hotel Greenberg did. But for now, a wonderful way to start the series. Chance, you know they need those big respawn wins. Nameless had a 3-1 on the desk. He might not be wrong, but this series could go the distance.
Well, we'll see if it goes the distance, but I know the big question for Seattle has been
Sick
the
of
search
waiting.
and destroy. Obviously, it's only been one map in this stage that we have seen them, but it was like night versus day for how they looked in stage 1 and 2 in that game mode compared to the performance that they had. They were making moves all over the map. And Mac was absolutely frying. So I think if Seattle get anywhere near that level of performance in this series, obviously they're going to be in a fantastic spot. It's El Asilo we're going to. And LA Thieves love to play on that map, all for a 3-8 record overall. So I think Surge are going to be feeling themselves after that one. All 4 players positive, accuracy on point as well. Anytime the team KD is a 1.4, you're feeling great going into new.
Well, I mean, this is 2 runner-up teams from the majors so far here in the year. Will they make another? And the upcoming Texas major we'll find out in a couple of weeks. But for now, Seattle Surge, LA Thieves, you know they've both got that dog in them. See what happens on El Asilo now. Search and Destroy coming up next. This is going to be
this guy's going to keep giving me all these generous Lizardman tasks, and the game is just not going to reward me, bro. Come on, man. It's got to be this task.
Thieves, big fans of El Asilo. Will they find the crazy madness here, or will it be another
getting too
crazy
close to the
victory for
5K mark?
Of Seattle Surge, because Chance, what was it? Almost hit the record for Search and Destroy losses in a row. Unheard of for a roster of this caliber that we've seen since their inception in Vanguard.
And also absurd to hear a player just say that you're not even like, trying 100% in a certain game mode for the S&D practice. I know Mac talked about it in the most recent interview that they had. But just that acknowledgement, like I know Search and Destroy is a weird one to scrim because it plays so much differently in matches compared to online, and it's tricky getting online practices because there's only certain teams you can play against. So I know it's funny to begin with, but when you get to a record-breaking in a bad way performance, you have to start turning things around. So it'd just be fun to watch if they can bring it into a different map. It was Hotel where we saw them playing with all the confidence in the world, making moves all over the place. Mac was balling out. Civ also posted up some very nice stat lines in the map too. Now it's a different one on El Asilo, and they're playing against a team who, admittedly, the record isn't great at 3-8 overall, but still well experienced. I know quite a few of those losses are to teams like Atlanta FaZe, where Atlanta FaZe, one of their best maps in the game. So I think LAT overall, the round count usually pretty good. It's just a map they struggle to get wins on overall. So definitely an interesting square up, and I definitely think this is now where we truly get to learn about how many improvements Surge has actually made.
Improvement is going to be the name of the game. That's going to be what we're really looking for here. A win is one thing, but looking to see them go toe-to-toe with a tough squad like the LA Thieves and Search and Destroy, that is also a wonderful indicator for success. Here we go into El Asilo, map number 2. Here in this series, an absolute slugfest. We are guaranteeing you, ladies and gents. A lot of 3-0s yesterday, an exciting 3-0 to start the day off today, but you bet your bottom dollar, or whatever the hell the metaphor you're looking for, wherever you come from, this is going to be a treat.
And again, that record is just absurd. I mean, the first blood pretty halfway decent right in the middle of the pack for LAT, but I know both LA Thieves and Surge's conversions when they actually get the first bloods pretty poor. Which obviously the records would indicate that you're not having a great deal of success even when you're finding the picks. And we'll see if Civ can find one in the outer lane, as this is a pretty aggressive B hit off the rib. No dead silence, no trophies just yet, so impossible to absolutely fly.
Octane is atop of the mountain. Eyes across that B-bomb site. Max getting in there. Larry tags flags up. Envoy backs him right up. This might give you a bit of clearance to go towards A. Watch that flank, though. Here comes Kenny. He's going to make a play towards the outside. Sneaky man making his moves. Sib, right place, right time. Will the gunny prevail? Gets one. Wait a minute. Oh, no! There's a ton of Surge players in this back alley. Kenny bites off more than he can chew. 4v2.
Yeah, just a bit of a mistake there out of Draza because Kenny absolutely heard that player jump. So Sid could have been dead to rights, but then Kenny gets forced to chow a little bit too quickly, and the help for Surge was there. And funnily enough, it was the B hit off the rip. They just get the bomb down at A so quickly after the fact, and Octane by himself, nowhere to go, in a perfect first round coming out of Seattle. Sid with that opening two-piece, and obviously the help from his teammate in field sealed the deal.
Happy with that one. This was the kill from Sib. Gets Adraza, spots Kenny, and this is perfect teamwork. Kenny comes from that corner, gets a tag or two in. And it's a little bit of help from the bomb carrier Mac there, but Sib, great moves there. Doesn't take the challenge, backs up, trusts his teammates. That's good minimap awareness. We may not have red dots, but don't forget the blue ones, team. They're your pals. Most of the time, they're here to help.
And that's got to be great communication as well, just because we know Mac had the bomb and was like the most aggressive guy up on the wall. So he ran backs to help out his teammates. So someone was either begging for help in Sib or just the big brain plays were there. And now you don't need a 200 IQ to know if Pred's in a spot like this, he can make that impact play, but he's very loud when he drops down. Doesn't matter though, still gets the first blood.
How did he get that kill? Kenny somehow managing to deal a decent amount of damage. Not the kill. Mac though goes down. Draza finds his 3v2. Lives towards the LA Thieves.
Oh, that's unfortunate for accuracy. Dead Silence runs out and he gets spotted, and Octane just gets sent in for the kill. Down to 50 HP, but more importantly, no time on the clock. Pred trying to make a play on the other side, but he's going to be spotted or
I don't even know how I'm doing all this right now.
Only has 15 seconds to work with to defuse a bomb, and
somehow watching this fucking show.
Simply nothing can be done, so he wants just an extra kill if he can get it.
He will get it in a few seconds if he checks this right. Yeah, there it is.
Are so
It's going to be 3 spree on the round. That's the one consolation he gets to take away from here.
I feel like it's just happening and I'm just watching it.
LA Thieves, they find the equalizer.
So weird.
Nice little bounce back just inside the site. I know Pred got the kill on Kenny, sort of on that like outer A zone lane, but all the other LA Thieves won their individual gunfights in and around the bomb. And I mean, 2 for 2 right now for both of these teams on the actual bomb plants, and the offensive conversions shortly follow.
Talking about them conversions, man. And so far, it's all working. The stats have not lied thus far here in the Search and Destroy round 3. Here we go. LA Thieves on the defense. They're stacking up the A site. Stick as Thieves, if you'll excuse the pun. I will Seattle break this. All of them upstairs for now.
There's going to be so much noise up top, right? You see Octane in face cam comment a decent bit as well. All of these audio cues, players pulling out stuns and nades, and maybe trying to send Kenny in for the kill. LA Thieves maybe with flank opportunity, but if they heard 3 players up top and this bomb starts to rotate over towards B, right now it's only Draza responsible to catch out this rotation, but I don't think the timing went his way. And this is looking like Mac is going to be able to get this bomb down for free. We get to see how Seattle hold this bomb.
Yeah, Thieves 2 guns up over towards that B side of the map. Back you see, he's going to walk back into the sneaky Draza, the assassin from the back line, no problem. Sib, just like that. Flying solo. His wingmen are out, and he's not going to be able to get a constellation kill on the way through. There you go. The LA Thieves. What a round.
Yeah, and Kenny always enthusiastic in the player cam as well. I think pretty happy about how that round developed. Great kills. I mean, as soon as the bomb get down, I think it might have been Envoy that was the first one in to catch Mac as soon as the bomb goes down. And even for the reads, Draws had just taken the full wrap. So it might have been a little bit slow on the rotation to actually stop the bomb plant from taking place. But they were incredibly fast at just swarming over that garage area after the fact. And that is as efficient of a retake as you are ever going to see.
Oh, wow.
LA Thieves, they're
looking at the screen.
It's called patient play from Draza as well. He spots, or he hears the audio cue for at least one player there by the bomb site. Doesn't smash a door open, takes the long way around, catches out accuracy, setting up for the post-plant position. Nets that kill, nets his teammates some space and a bit of time to play with. Great stuff there. LA Thieves take the lead here in the Search and Destroy. Back at it we go.
Yeah, no shocker on the aggression into the A site, doubled up down low, Pred and Mac, and very standard setup right now across the board for Seattle on defense, and I think LAT maybe a little bit happy to take their time, some of that dead silence before you start making plays. But for the moment, you only know that accuracy is in his home. After that, they're still waiting to use some stuns and nades to sniff these players out.
stuns and nades.
Cool.
That's what Max.
I'm still doing it. Like I go on the OSRS wiki and look at the Warhammer and make sure it says like
let those deadies build up.
That these specific ones drop them, like the ones that are at this location.
Here we go.
And they do. They drop them.
Blowing the fan clean off the wall.
Just haven't gotten it yet, apparently.
Mac wins his. Doors banged wide open. Mac looking to get a little bit more than that first. As Envoy, he's going to get the tags through the wall. Draz gets involved now, but Mac wants to get with a gunny. 30 seconds on this one, and you're holding it down.
I'm getting it before 5K. The game's not going to make me wait till after 5. I'm getting it.
What a round, Seattle.
Yeah, and that's impressive work out of the trophy system as well. Off the rip for Max. So
I'm telling you, I think it's coming this task.
You know, it's the stuns and nades you have to deal with. But
I said it earlier. I feel like it's just happening. It's coming.
Funnily enough, the wall bangs never properly came through. I know Mac was getting tagged up a bit, but you know, we see players like Abizi or Celium just insta-kill players through that wall. LA Thieves not quite able to find it, and obviously you see how difficult it can be to break in that site.
Fish from Wyvern, skeletal Wyverns.
The stuns and nades front, just a little
super
more
AFK
value
ones.
Out of Seattle. All those players ended up being funneled inside that pool area, and both Mac
you should spot range them the whole time.
From the outer lane moving in,
and you can stay there too because all the loot is like stackable or alchable.
To do here in MW2, only the greatest can really pull it off. One plant
Once
towards
you have
A,
a couple thousand bolts, you stay there.
An exchange of lethals and tacticals here from Kenny and Pred. They're going to empty their pockets on one another, and now it's just knives and lint. Here we go. Kenny from upstairs. The retake is on. We're moving fast for the Thieves, but you're moving loud at the same time. Not
I got it early.
Through the back line.
Thankfully.
We'll be able to catch someone out. Sib. He's shaking it.
1 in 10K. I mean,
by the pole dance.
Of course, you could add all the other dragons I did, but
now, oh wait a minute! All LA Thieves. Sib's got the boomstick downstairs. Kenny might be able to get the pinch.
At the time, I think it was like in the 3000s, deep 3000s. I think when I got my Wyvern.
Absolute fiesta downstairs, and Seattle come out on top.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, good lord, that's a difficult hold as well for
was
Seattle.
Not expecting
I know they get the bomb down for free, and they're feeling great after the fact, but I mean, you're getting swarm bottom pool, hit from every single angle. You have to trust your teammates to deliver on all the gunfights. Brett and Mac down low, trusting each other to win their respective.
It's not that rare a game. It's definitely possible.
Simply deliver. So
1 in 5K.
We know they've been putting in a serious amount of work, especially in this game mode, and a round like that, I definitely think it shows. And more importantly, just to recognize of how quickly you're actually able to get that bomb down. I mean, they cleared out the site, had the bomb planted within the first 15 seconds of the round. No time wasted for Surge.
Is that efficiency? Ooh. Draz gets away with his life. Bomb planted at A, though. Thieves downstairs now trying to stack into a position, get themselves angles covered. Pred upstairs, though. Moving quietly. Oh, Draz does not hear him coming. That's going to be 3 in a row there for Pred. 6 and 1.
Dude, I think it's going to be beautiful on the ground.
Less than 30 on the clock. Mac wins his. Pred. Oh, no.
I'm not even going to get to savor the moment of it being on the ground because it's going to, I'm going to be fast as lightning the moment I see that. But
and again, ecstatic in the player camp because his team just got broken.
That thing has to get in my inventory before my internet crashes or something
waits for the
like
kills
that.
to fall in his lap. Draws it too loud to hit the stairwell. Easy read right there for Pred. And then obviously you have Mac jumping on the site after the fact. I mean, everybody from Surge in those final moments got in the mix. So Pred sets him up, everybody else there to knock it down. And right now the woes on El Asilo for LA Thieves. It seems like they're just continuing.
I'm prepping, bro.
There's a moment there.
I'm telling you.
Final seconds of Kenny's face cam
where
where he
a little
gets the
spot
kill
in
on the player site, and then it's just
in my bank tab.
happening?
For the combat, all my combat stuff, I'm gonna just have a little spot designated for it.
I can't believe it, mate.
Because it's coming soon.
A couple of weeks ago, they were world's worst at search and destroy. And what do you know? Back-to-back wins. It's not over yet.
Oh, Pred's so aggressive as well. Yeah, look at the teamwork right there. Draws in. Even Kenny was down low, so everybody in the mix to shut down that push. And now in a 3v4, and you're kind of trapped on the field side of the map. I know at least the bomb carrier gets out, but accuracy's been left on an island. But he finds a pick, but his teammates down low don't quite get the trades. Envoy, see that thorn in their side, leaving the players in a 2v3, but the thorn has been pulled. And right now, Sib and Accuracy, the AR is trying to make moves, but can't quite make it happen. Now Sib for the 1v2 and starts off with a 360.
Yo, he hit that one. Very, very good. That's a 10 from the judges. He's going to try to hit the bomb down. Timing. What? 1v1. Draza comes out on top, and Sib is very, very upset with that one.
And meanwhile, just a smile on Jaws' face, those pearly whites. Chip Skylark has grinded this game. I know if it wasn't for the fact that he had to waste time, you know, scrimming and playing in a CDL, he would be #1 on the top 250 leaderboards, but Draza has put in some serious work. Nice play around the door in that moment, and I think Sib probably most upset about not getting the highlight reel play, because that would have been a very solid, effectively, like 2v4 clutch that Sib and Accuracy would have had, and Sib would have collected 3 of those kills, but either way, necessary bounce back round right there for LA Thieves just to stop the bleeding, but still down in rounds.
Ooh, it dropped.
Get back on offense.
It's been dropping heavy since we were last playing. We were playing, I think it was like 75-ish mil.
We're creeping.
Around that
We're crawling.
range.
And we are slithering through the bottom side of LSCLO. Standard setup there from Seattle. So
last time I checked,
Thieves
like
on offense. Look at this field play.
Like
2 players
32 or
way out on the top side of the
like
map. They're going to get spotted soon.
Probably lower.
Can they get closer towards that B-bomb site before their fate bell rings?
It's also like, it's all these AR gunfights on the field side of the map to try to get Draza in position, but it's also just Pred versus Envoy. And you to get too aggressive, you just get caught. So Seattle's ARs are delivering on one side of the map. Meanwhile, Pred has put himself in prime position. And Envoy, if he doesn't find him, well, good news is he does to even up the odds, or maybe even get the advantage now that Kenny finds the pick. I was going to say, Envoy's Deddy nearly ran out, but
it's 25.7.
Max got his Deddy, though, and there it is. Ding dong. Less than 30. Mac moving. Checks the bomb site. No one home. Has to keep the roll going. Now Sib. Oh, that's a lovely spot on a Kenny. Tags are in. Here comes the silent reinforcement.
About to be added to the bank.
Catch out Octane on the timing, though. Awkward play inbound. Sib's quick reposition, though. This could be great. You spotted one. This is going to be a tough retake, but not impossible. Has to win a fight. Can't win a thing. Mac. 1v3.
That was a big stick on that plant right there by Envoy as well. But Mac in the 1v3 knows where a bunch of these players are, but he only has attack. And breaking into this site's not easy. You get shots like that, maybe it can help, but the Vaznev shuts him down towards the end. And I know Envoy started out 1-5, but that round really started to crank things up and make the big plays. And it's actually Kenny who gets that final kill on the trades. But I think as soon as Envoy at least catches Pred out behind the desk, you're feeling much more confident about your ability in that round. I think LA Thieves maybe making a couple adjustments. Pred always playing in and around that money window. And if I had to take a guess, Envoy probably just heard him jump over that desk and just waited for the timing on when to pounce.
Yeah, you can make an educated guess when you hear the mantle thump thump. He's prone behind the desk. Great reads, good work out of Dylan Hammond there. Octane with the old boomstick. Downstairs, we've seen a lot of SPX today. It's been the snipe du jour. Any more to be found here on LSCLO? That might have landed the stick. Oh, you're in trouble, son. There we go. Envoy managed to get the first blood there. An awkward Semtex slows the feet of Mac. Gets the kill. 4-4 still tied up. Crazy moment. Oh my word, nearly. Can Octane find Pred here once again? Prone in money.
He loves it. This is just Pred's little area.
Here we
Gotta be very difficult about how like tall your helmet actually is, or maybe just on the good timing. Nailbiter in that moment, but in the meantime, the only one that can make a play is going to be Accuracy. Dead silence and on the flank. So Accuracy has to open things up for the team. That's the start, maybe to try to soften up a blow for Pred to start making moves, but only 35 seconds to work with. You're going to have to fly.
Oh, he saw Octane. He saw the cake. He definitely saw it happen. Bomb down. Will he be able to check the corner here? Accuracy. Tags in. Nearly gets the kill. Ball down to Pred. One. Might be able to hit the site. No. Player behind him. Great work out the LA Thieves. The resolve was there. They take the lead. For the first time since, what, round 1?
And just about. And great moves right there from Octane as well. Accuracy gets the kill. Going on to rotation. Jumps up in that top window. And Octane just backs down to stay alive. But it has been a long time coming for LA Thieves to get back in this lead. You are correct. And I know, again, Envoy started off 1-5. He's now picking up first bloods and feeling just a little bit more comfortable in this game. The adjustments for Thieves have been on point, and only one final adjustment to make to get this last round win. I know Pred is probably the guy that you're thinking about playing around. Trophy's out in and around the site, but Mac is by himself. And Trophy's down. They've seen this trap before.
Pred's waiting for it. He's not playing games this round. One more bit of noise to cue it. How diddly doodly gets in there. Envoy, the man to drop. It's still map point for the LA Thieves. Draza now pop steady. Sibs brings in the snipes to the inside. And he is tweaking right now. Son, look at him go. Doesn't manage to catch that player who just made the way on the outside. That's going to be it. Draza, another big win. 3v3.
Oh, now you're getting pounced on his side as well. Pred trying to help his boy, but he gets caught out, and the breakdown is in. And LA Thieves in a 3v4 close the door and get it done to tie this series up 1-1.
It was a fun one while it lasted. But there we go, 1-1. The LA Thieves pull it back there on LSC low. The search and destroy woes somewhat continue there for Seattle Surge. They did manage to break the curse, but for now, a difficult look for them there. A bit of a fall apart in the final round, but until then, good stuff. LA Thieves, though, congratulations on that bounce back. You're going to need it, because again, this series, I've got a feeling we're going the distance. Good stuff out of Kenny there once again. He certainly has come to play today. Good looks in the respawn there, 10-6 in the S&D as well. Pred on the other side, he was the hitman for Seattle Surge, 9-5, just over 1k worth of damage there, Chance.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised as well, like even that strat for LA Thieves towards the end of just like no one helping Envoy out and watching that door form and Envoy being like tunnel vision on the guy towards mid just to give up the free first blood, because moments like that, it seems way too easy for Pred, but obviously if they can't convert the round, doesn't make a single bit of difference, and obviously the pop-off plays towards the end of guys like Draza going on those routes. So good stuff from both teams overall. I know we said we'd learn a little bit in Surge, maybe just a little bit more is what they need.
Well, we just got a little bit, but what we need now from you, chat, is just a little bit of your time. We're going to throw to a quick commercial break. On the other side of this bad boy, we're staying on LSC and we're playing Control. Don't go too far. This is the CDL. We'll be right back.
Dude, sometimes I walk out of these trips, like just one trip with like 300k or something. Like, it's nice, man. That shit adds up. This task is pretty nice. The thing is, though, I'm probably gonna have to invest a lot of the decent little bit of the money earned into some more rune arrows, because this is like the best method I have for the top methods. For what I have, this is my best option for like speedy kills, so that's, you know, that's what's most important, I'd say. Well, I mean, obviously that's what's most important. So yeah, I'll probably have to spend a good couple mil on some rune arrows. Honestly, they're pretty expensive. Now, I'm only gonna buy like 2 or 3k at a time, just so I don't overspend. Like buy a shit ton of them and then get the Warhammer early, like then I'd be pissed off. There's a couple places that sell rune arrows, but they're just, it's weird, like they sell for way more than what their price is, like what they're worth in the stores. Let's see. They're worth 84 each. That's their normal value. I think their store value is like 300 or 400 or something like that each, and that's fucking brutal. It's not, I mean, it's not too bad, but it's like, so if that's the case, it's like 1,000 of them is 400k. So if I have 5,000 arrows, 2 mil. It's really not that bad. I mean, I need him for this. That's worth it. If he ever fucking drops it. And I think like 400 is their base price too, so it probably goes up as you buy like their inventory, unless it's some shops the
Call of Duty
price
League
stays the
is
same.
presented
But
by the GMC Hummer EV pickup.
I doubt
the
we'll be
world's
lucky
first
enough.
all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of
yeah,
Duty
the
League.
lowest sold at is 400.
Well, the LA Thieves bounce back in the series here by winning the crazy LSELO S&D. But we stay on LSELO for now. Control, map number 3. Someone's taking the lead after this one. Chance, which way are you leaning?
Oh, damn, I wish you didn't ask me that question. I
Whoa,
actually have no
I'm not
idea.
even paying
Again, like
attention.
for both of these
I'm
teams,
sitting here thinking I'm
their
doing a
most
safe
commonly
Slayer
vetoed
task or
map
something.
by a mile when it comes to Control. Surge
What
is
am
the
I
team that
doing?
ended up picking it.
Went on
and I
OSR's
suppose
wiki,
maybe
got
based
lost.
off that, the expectation for me is that Surge has been putting in quite a bit
I
of
got
work.
no
not just in
food.
Surge and Troy,
Gotta be
but on
cracked.
maps like Hydro Hardpoint that they're not choosing to play. So if they're choosing a map they've commonly banned, I think they might have cooked something up. But at the same time, Kenny has also been the fry man for the side of LAT. Not easy to shut down, and there's also a tilt factor that might come into effect when you're really like punching your desk after losing rounds where you probably shouldn't have won to begin with. Not always easy to bounce back from.
It's not easy whatsoever. The mental aspect of the game, something we've talked about plenty. Good luck to you. When things start to get frustrating, it's very, very hard not to sort of let that spiral out of control and let it affect your gameplay. Someone who has not been affected in the gameplay department, though, is Pred. Look at these stats. Sheesh.
I think the biggest one there in my mind, it's got to be the attacking KD as well. If you have an SMG that is performing that well on offense, and I will say, keep in mind, it's like their least played map by a mile, so I'm assuming there's just one performance from Pred that is definitely going to be inflating those stats, because they have a 1-1 record. But hey, if you can put up some big performances like that, especially on the attacking rounds, you're going to be having a great time. So, well, I think Kenny on one side is
This was much more fun when I was like training range.
Pred,
It was 97, steadily going
to
up.
be a lethal threat.
Now 99.
And in the first hard point, he popped off.
It's harder.
He did. So Pred
It's
respawn
harder,
dominance.
man.
Keep an eye on that coming up in a moment. Had a PC crash, guys. We'll get back into this ASAP. Until then, Seattle Surge gives them a moment more to ponder how they're going to roll forward in this LSC low control. Long series ahead of us, no doubt about it. The respawns are going to be nail biters between these two teams, even online. And the Search and Destroy, as you just saw, a fun one indeed. Seattle's search woes continue to a degree, as is tradition. Top left-hand side of the screen there was Sib shooting bots in the firing range. LA Thieves upstairs, they're going to be enjoying a little bit of downtime as well as we get back into this ASAP. And it's all smiles for the Thieves.
I feel like in these player cams, it's just becoming like very easy predictions on what's going to happen. LA Thieves, winning or losing, are going to be joking around, having a good time, smiles on our faces. Again, this is a team that like they might tilt within a map, but the regain is always going to be on point. Andraza being the motor mouth that he is, a central figure in keeping the vibes flowing. And then on the flip side for Seattle, you know for a fact that we could watch through Sib's glasses him just in the firing range shooting things non-stop. Like even during a match, he does not appreciate downtime. He just wants to shoot his gun.
Yeah, I mean, and he does it very good. Sib shoot the gun well. Does everything else pretty well, to be honest. I mean, Sib's an absolutely brilliant player. He has been a force to be reckoned with here in the CDL since he got into it. Accuracy under the tutelage of that man. Keeping things all good together. It's that mental game, though. I mean, thinking about, like, you know, when things go wrong, when things get really bad, It's moments like that for the LA Thieves. We're all smiling, all laughing. Just somebody says something dumb, someone makes a joke, somebody lets one rip, whatever it may be. Anything to sort of get the mind off of the loss, focus forward, and keep things rolling. That's the name of the game right here, and that game we're playing is Control and a Sealer.
I mean, you know, not that I'm an expert on this sort of thing, but like in any state of competition, if you hesitate even for a second, that's enough for whoever's playing against you to just like put you in the dirt, and that's enough. And I know, especially for Call of Duty, if there's ever like a seed of doubt in your mind, any game mode, any moment, you're just gonna get torched. Like, you need the confidence. That's why like ego chows aren't always a bad thing. They're incredibly effective in Call of Duty, not just for like peeker's advantage, but just because you're challenged. Like, you are trusting yourself to win the gunfights, and I just think, again, confidence is king. That probably is the biggest struggle point for Seattle Surge and Search and Destroy. Once you lose enough maps in a row, it just gets in your head, and that is so tough to deal with. I think like not clutching a 1v3, like for Sid, for example, is a round that most people just do not care. They're like, damn, that was a good try. I 360'd that guy over by barrels. I'm snapping right now. We'll get him the next round. But if you don't have all the confidence in the world, and maybe frustrations are a little bit high within the team, then you go more of like to the punching desk style. Of course, that being said, for Surge, I mean, this is a team that stuck together through thick and thin, all of the end of Vanguard, and obviously they finished on a pretty high note. So these guys sticking together through this year, obviously they are very capable of the bounce back as well and making those improvements. So make no mistake, I know we're highlighting Civ quite a bit, or at least I am, but this is a team I do not think is going to lack any confidence either.
No, and they really shouldn't. I mean, you've managed to pull yourself out of potentially one of the worst deficits you've seen as a squad since like Seattle Surge 2020. I mean, that's the closest you get into it with that Search and Destroy run. So kudos again to Seattle Surge. It's the mental games, the fortitude chance. True fortitude.
Yeah, and by the way, that was their 100th S&D loss as in the CDL, as like in org. I think that was the first team to 100.
Wow, well done, Seattle Surge. Balloons for you. You've lost 100 Search and Destroy matches. That is, they're the first to do it. Unbelievable. Well, congrats to them, I suppose. We have had a server crash, ladies and gentlemen. The player PCs are all good to go, but a server issue has prevented us from getting into this game, and we'll be rolling back into that one in a moment. Kenny looks tired, doesn't he? He looks tired. He's over this, man. He just wants to get back in there and, you know, put some good numbers up for the L. Well, we got that out of the way. Let's get back to let's get back to business. If you like the CDL, and I know you do because you're in the stream, and you like playing cards because I know you do because, well, I know you do. Upper Deck, of course, they're trading cards. The 2021 Call of Duty League ones are now available. If you've been to any of the majors this year, you'll know what they look like. You've seen them in the flesh. All sorts of goodies there. Scan that QR code on screen. They are beautiful. They are very fun. Great fun to collect. A lot of those signatures as well. I've seen a couple go up on bidding websites, and the numbers are crazy for some of our more storied players there. But whoa, ladies and gentlemen, third time's the charm. Strap in. It's time to go to LCLO Control.
Yeah, and just to backtrack to the playing cards real quick, I know the craziest thing about that was Scraps, not Wuskins, on the playing card. Saw him in person, blew my mind, because I was like, I didn't realize, like, I knew you guys were twins. I didn't realize how twin-like you actually were, because I've known him for years, and just assumed it was Wuskins at the event. So if you see him in person, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about.
I shouted at him. I shouted, woo! And he was like, no, man, it's me, mate. I was like, no shot. Crazy. Into the game we go, though. Here we have it. Control is up. Thanks for sticking with us, pal. Sorry about the delay, but in we go. Max trying to clear out the inside of the map. Over towards the A side we go here on defense for the LA Thieves. Can Mac find anyone here? He's checking literally everything, and this is good checking. On A, we finally go. Oh, unlucky there from accuracy. That final bullet would have been sweet there. Anyone here to pick up the pieces? Not just yet. LA Thieves looking strong in the first few minutes, seconds.
What? Yeah, this is 35 seconds and only 2 kills have come through. Now we get all the way up to 5. So I think these guys just came off the fact of playing S&D on this map. That was an absurdly slow pace, but all of that for Surge to snap into position, get these players to spawn out and try to stack up on this B point. You got Pred responsible for the flank. Kenny just shuts him down. These players right now can hear everything. If you are standing next to a player on this map and they kick open a door, you're going deaf. That's the end.
I hope so. Anyway, for some of you, there's the first segment from Seattle Surge. Good work. 40 seconds remaining on the round. Will they be able to get another? Pressure's there. It's Octane from upstairs. And Envoy with a final cleanup kill. Pred, last man on this side of the map for his boys. He can still be that pain. He's got to stay alive for a few moments more. Just over 30 to go.
He's got dead silence, but the only play he can make is calling out the players that are above him. Number 4 has him trapped. Envoy got that information, and Sib's getting kills in the meantime. They know Pred's down low, and you see a guy like Kenny jumping from the top rope just to shut him down, and you got Draza in prime position. I mean, the number of players on this LA Thieves team that can effectively be the main AR. I mean, pick your poison.
Kenny tags good. Not enough to get that kill, though. The second segment of B's on its way out. There's a 2-man stack. You got to get going. Accuracy, last man left on it. If you can win one fight, that's great. No, good work there from the LA Thieves. They stop it. And we are still moving forward in the time department. 15 seconds to go here. Max up close and personal, though. He could be the man to get it done. Coverage there. As Draza manages to get a few more. Kenny's playing this one real close. That is a great bit of movement, and he's in. That should be the round. Oh, no. Wait a minute. Number 6. Accuracy onto the point. He's got to win this one fight, and he can get it done. There we go. Sib might be able to get there in time, but no way. He gets the gun up. There it is. LA Thieves hold firm here on the first round.
And honestly, that is just the pain of starting off a round that slow. I mean, Seattle Surge, again, there was like 2 gunfights that took place in the first 30 seconds of the round, and by the end, when the clock is ticking and you're forced just to sprint face first into whatever point you spawn closest to, free kills there for the side of LA Thieves. You were just getting funneled into a bad spot, and I think we're uncharacteristically on a start that slow. Not something I expect to see again.
Yeah. But once you see the game plan is there, and the sort of the machinations of that perfect B hit were there, but it just took a little too much time for Seattle Surge. We'll see if they can find a success in the next defensive round. For now, they're on defense. They got stacking up bodies towards A.
That's a quick first blood as well from Accuracy, who as soon as he gets to the tower with the trophy out as well, incredibly annoying to deal with, and I think off spawn, LA Thieves might pick a different direction to go. You see Octane even wrapping back. They're trying to find the cheeky angle just to take him down, and I was going to say, good luck with that one. I would just be going to B.
Yeah, that's a nice angle, though. You get that kill, it's one thing, but you got to deal with all these players in these corners. Oh, they're everywhere. Mac, though, he's the last man to get a kill, traded out immediately there. Fred doesn't dodge it. Battleharden's going to keep him in the fight pretty quick, though. Here comes Draz. Doesn't check the floor. As Pred stays alive here in the top bar. He's still finding these kills, and all comers are hitting their way towards him. Finally brought down. Accuracy, the next line of defense here. Envoy with a suppressing fire. Thieves have managed to get a little bit closer to the point. Stacked up on A. Chance, no hope for Seattle here. Surely keeping off.
Oh, this is brutal. I mean, LA Thieves, that's their 4th kill they've gotten in 1 minute and 10 seconds. So both teams on offense feeling the pain of being able to convert either of these rounds. I mean, almost completely unable to touch either zone. And I mean, maybe a last-ditch effort, but LA Thieves not even positioned to make an attempt on this round. Envoy, last one just to die. That is 2 just absurdly clean rounds, at least on the defensive end. Neither team able to orchestrate anything resembling an attack.
No, that was 2 bad ones back to back. We'll see if Seattle can find something on their next attacking round. So far, yeah, defense has been very, very strong here for both teams on LSC low. See if that's going to change up next. Seattle, you've had a moment to think about it. You've seen what the Thieves have got in their bag. How will you attack this time?
And this is a map that's weighted a little bit weird. It's about 60-40 for defense across the league, but there's only 3 teams that are actually above 50% on offense. And I think Seattle was at 40%. Again, they were only 1-1, but I think LA Thieves are now like 1-7 on their offensive round. So technically the league average is close to 50-50, but a lot of teams just have not figured it out just yet. It looks like Surge on their attack, at least able to create opportunities and get Pred behind enemy lines and just get shut down. And we are right back to a stranglehold for the team on defense.
Oh, no. Well, Sib's going to find one on the way out. Octane snippity snaps the both of them to the Shadow Realm with you. Be gone. As those 2 are out of there, son. Just under a minute to go.
And this is just, I mean, good luck. You got Kenny effectively behind enemy lines. He can just jump on you whenever you try to be a little bit too aggressive, or maybe bad timing going his way. He gets shot in the back as the players cross through field, and just like that, a brief moment of opportunity, and 3 players stacked up on that zone.
They're stacked up. Numbers are there. Trophies as well. You are set for this one. Second segment gone. Third surely on its way out. I mean, if you're the Thieves, chalk it. Look towards A. That's where you need to get the defense set up. B long gone. An additional minute on the clock.
Hey, And you'll take a moment like that, talk about a massive opportunity. You're close on lives as well, get all of the extra time. And again, Seattle, they've only played this map twice, but technically one of the more successful teams on offense. And this is a great round so far. Good awareness by accuracy to check every single corner. And now if you can ever get this player off of radio, you're going to have a great time. Or maybe accuracy, just to keep these players at bay. It's only Kenny up by radio. At least they know where he is. And unfortunately for Seattle, he's able to get 2, but this is also 2 ticks. And now you have to flood into the zone.
No way. Kenny gets 2 out of it. Bread somehow finding the damage. And there's so many of those players. No kills, though. Can Sib just come in, just cough on these guys? They're all so weak. So many oneies. A full segment remains. LA Thieves posted up on the defense. Kenny once again with the big digits. 14 and 9 on a 3 spree. How many kills has Drowser's got right now?
And you're also, I think, Seattle playing the waiting game. They're waiting for the kills to come through because accuracy is speding up the spawn trap. Every single one of these players is going to spawn exactly where number 1 on the minimap just died, and they have to cross the line that is accuracy before they can make any moves. So they're just worried about the funnel system. Any death right here for LA Thieves could be an absolute dagger. The good news, though, for Thieves, they find all the kills. They take care of accuracy, and they keep their defensive life alive. But obviously, with one final tick coming through, it only takes a moment for Surge.
Yeah, wanted this weird back of the map setup that the LA Thieves just made work so well. Sib, unable to get any purchase from that side of the map. Now he's getting things going. Oh, nearly the second Envoy, 2 HP. You lucky devil. Walks away with it now. 25 seconds remaining on the round. The LA Thieves once again backed up towards the rock side. The defilade cover. No one's penetrating those rocks. Less than 20 to go now.
And this is kind of a dangerous setup for LA as well. It's all the ARs completely posted up, but if you can get in corners and force the gunfights up close, like if you get Pred and Mac in position, which Pred now is, this is not fun for Kenny to have to deal with. And there's Pred for the first strike. The trades, though, are in. Envoy's so quick to help out, but it's still a trade fest. It's still Seattle with the pressure on, and Mac doing his best to stay alive.
Here comes shredding these
over
guys.
The top rope, dives into it, drains it. 3 seconds to go. This should be the round, and once again, closer. But not quite enough on the attack. Seattle Surge, though, they take the lead in the segments department. They will be getting defense on round 5 as it stands, and that might well have got them the map. We will see, though. Another attacking round for the LA Thieves.
And I'd be very curious to check on Draz's damage after this game as well, because I see 4 and 12, but I feel like he's been the guy that's almost been living at the radio tower. So his output might be decent. His impact maybe fell elsewhere, not just in the kills, but a back pocket idea. I'd say for the end of that round, Envoy's the guy that if he's not in the position behind enemy lines, I think Surge actually are going to be able to convert that round. But big plays in a big moment, and now LA Thieves turn to attack, and at some point they're going to have to get an attacking round, either this one or the next, because right now Surge has been better on offense.
This is a great start. Octane's in there. You've got your double doors covered. You've got Octane on the outside. This is good looks at the Thieves so far. First segment gone. Can they stack up and get the second? That's going to be a 3-man stack for now. It's going to go real fast. Sib's going to be able to try to get into this ASAP. He is under the coverage of his teammates, but oh, nice pick. A's gone, though. This is the attacking round of the LA Thieves.
They're going to get cleaned up, though. Bunch of trades coming through, and yeah, Kenny last man standing, and he's in his spawn. So you chalk up the point, but you get the kills and at least buy yourselves a bunch of map control as well. And now you got Mac, the one that is in control. He's the player down by pool, lighting things up and putting the pressure on. He knows exactly where these players are going to be spawning and trying to keep them at bay, and very annoying to deal with. And that is just the start of the push. Right now, Thieves just desperate to get out of their spawn.
Well, Thieves, slowly but surely, they're getting it done. Kenny schools his son, Draza, and Pred within a single magazine. 140 on the clock. Sib, oh, you might have seen a shoulder there. Beautiful work. Takes care of Octane. Trophy's putting in overtime as well. 1:30 to go.
Oh, wow. Great reads and great shot right there from Sib. Just that little bit of extra. I think Envoy, the player that's trying to be annoying for Surge and trying to slow players like accuracy down, and he will do exactly that, finding an extra kill. Envoy just trying to buy his team a little bit of map pressure so they can start to creep up and make some moves. Maybe a bit of a flank coming through. We're trying to catch these players field side, or maybe it's the cruise.
It's the cruise. It's Kenny's cruise. And it lands.
Oh.
Above Sib's head. Good old Trophy helps out there.
Come
Trying
on,
to make something happen. Trying to extend the spree. Less than a minute to go now. Octane's got the kills in the backline cover. The pinch is in now.
Go.
The setup
It's
is
time.
there. Is this the moment
Right
for the
here.
LA Thieves to get on the point?
Well, we talked about the spawn shot, by the way. Now it's Octane that's got it. So he got into accuracy position, and he's trying to keep these Surge players at bay. So every death for Surge can be a dagger. You are going to be so far away from the point. You got Envoy on a 5, and these next players standing, they have to make the big plays. Sid has to find some of these kills.
This could be it. Sib's trying to find something. It's not a fast cap. It's only 2 players. Well, 1.5 if you count those players in and out. Pred now trying to get into it. Does. Wow. Oh, he wins a big. And Dra's still on the point, though. Not over yet. LA Thieves keeping the play going. Matt gets brought down. Up to Pred now. Still keeping things close. On the outside is accuracy. Trophies are in position. Pred finds another. He's gone absolutely huge. You've saved the point for now.
And I hate when I do it. I took my eye off the mini-map, but those players were all over Octane behind that, like, back cliff or back mountain. So I don't know if they got the close spawn or just were very efficient of jumping on it and taking care of that errant player. But the pressure's still on. It's only 1 tick to go, and Kenny is beaming.
He is Himothy. 10 lives left to attack this one with the LA Thieves. They've got just about 20 seconds to go as well. Mac wins a big one on the small door. Envoy now looking for the revenge. Oh, he nearly does drop him. Madness as the final 10 seconds. Can the LA Thieves get any closer? I don't think so, and it's going to come down to kills. Come down to the decider here. A single seg. It's not over yet. That should be it. Throw in the towel. We're going to the final round. And I do believe, based on the kills alone, Seattle Surge should have accrued defense.
I think they're good on the tick battle as well. I think LA Thieves got like completely shut down their first round on offense, and Surge at least got like 2 ticks over towards A. So whether it be kills or just the objectives, Surge should get the defense. Admittedly, though, the past 2 rounds, the teams on offense have created some serious threats, just not quite able to deliver. But either way, 4 for 4 right now on defense. You have to imagine a sizable advantage for the team that pulls it. And that should be Seattle. Again, tied up 1-1 in the series. You definitely want to have that edge going into map 4.
You do indeed. Well, there we go. Seattle do get defense. Round 5. Here we have it. One last crack at El Asilo. And admittedly, both teams have become, very adept at these attacking rounds. Last time around, we saw LA Thieves clean up A so far, so clean. And this time round, it's not as clean. They're keeping the pace up. Octane on the back line now. He's in trouble. If he reads this, no shot, no hope in hell whatsoever. 27 lives apiece as we go back to square one.
Well, look what's happening, though, because Envoy actually gets through, like, the middle of the map to try to force these spawns. Unfortunate for Octane, actually, that he just gets flanked. And I was going to say that could have been a good opportunity of B. Instead, they got a little bit too aggressive, did not read the flank coming through, and instead just getting mollywopped around the point. Even Draza, though, trying to find the errant kills, but LA Thieves a bit of a scattered game right now, just getting picked apart along the way. Only down on 2 lives, but also running out of time.
Lovely creative defense there from Seattle Surge. Wonderful reads of all the situations they found themselves in. 40 seconds to go. You've still got a bit of a capture taking place on A here, though. Mac, he's going to be the man to creep on in. I don't think he got spotted. He gave it away now. Can he get a kill out of it? No, we should see A
Dude,
gone.
run. What are you doing?
Toast. Third's on his way out.
Yeah, that could have actually been another big moment for Mac on the flank. I don't think he did get spotted by that player on radio either. And, well, now you got threats on the other side. If you want any man on the front line taking these gunfights, Kenny's going to be that guy. He is the one that's been frying all series long, but Brett is quick on the trades. But 2 more players from LA Thieves in the back. And again, Octane back towards his home. He is the man trying to cut off these players for Seattle. Not fun to have to get out of. It takes so much time to deal with ARs in these positions. And both him and Draza just keeping them locked in their spawn. Good luck with this one.
That's huge, man. Such wonderful work there with the AR. 25 and 20 out of Octane. Keeping his boys in this one. The capture is on. Can they keep the trap going? It's a 3-man stack right now for the LA Thieves. It is over unless Seattle Surge can get in there and get in there fast. Mac now through the side. All tags are good. He gets the kill. 2 more players right on top of the point. Drives through the wall. It's good work out of the LA Thieves, and they find the special source. Better late than never. They secure the final round, and they take the lead here in the series.
I really need to watch the previous round when LA Thieves were on the attack, because I think it was the exact same situation where Octane gets the back truck, and I don't know if Surge were just able to quickly wrap back or if they just got gifted some spawns to spawn right on top of them. But either way, perfectly executed towards the end. The exact same game plan for LA coming through, and hey, they delivered. Got the one offensive round that they needed, and I was hoping the damage for Draza would be better. Not the case. He did get fried at least the first couple rounds.
The mere fact that he exists in that top sort of red pylon position is a very important thing. You know, it's sometimes like having a snipe on a guy mid. Like, yeah, you're not hitting the shots, but you're denying that entire area to those players. Sometimes it's maybe good, sometimes are maybe not good. Here we go, though. Highlights, ladies and gents, from this LSCLO, as we will pack our bags and put our shoes on, and we're going to go to another map. And I hope you brought your swimwear. Yeah, that's the only hint you're getting if you've already forgot. But nice work out of the LA Thieves there to finally clutch up on that attacking round. The final run, round 5. Both teams proving to be so formidable on defense.
And Envoy really was making plays. Even the final attacking round that Seattle
hefty
had.
Trip.
Again, that was a
80,
ton of ARs, but it was literally
84
that
kills
moment right there where Envoy finds the flank to get the players out of sight, just to make sure Max Life is by his lonesome and too many players to deal with. So Envoy, obviously, I mean, typical for him, game-winning plays through and through. The flank's always going to be present on the map, and when he's finding success, you assume everybody else on the Thieves is going to pretty much just follow in quick order. I don't know if we're actually going to catch it in the highlights, Ben, those spawns coming through. I think it was a little bit before this, so it's going to be a mystery to me, but not a mystery to LA. Again, advantage in the series, and the map we're going to now, Hydro.
I gotta go and feed the big dogs now.
Well, Hydro
I think
map 4 here.
we're all making
longer series. No,
like we're all gonna make something for dinner
we began
tonight.
recently. Come on, so give me a good series. Give me a good series, and that is what we've got on our hands now, folks. 10 and 6 out of Kenneth. There in the in the S&D. Great work on LSD for Kenny.
Probably,
I appreciate you.
I
but that,
do
control
more
also, he
later,
did put
I'll
the numbers
just,
up. Kenny has had a
turn
whale of a series so far today. The same can be said. A couple of members there, of course,
see
from
in the
Seattle. So
chat.
respawns have been strong. Will they keep it going here on Hydro? That is the question I pose to you, Chance.
Well, I think Kenny's certainly every single map he has been on point, but for Thieves, a 2-3 record overall, which means like solid, but nothing too crazy in either direction. It's LA Thieves. They're world champions. They're going to be a super well-rounded team in every single game mode. For those guys, it's about the development over the course of the year, where they really find their strengths, when they catch their rhythms, when they like.
I'm not sure how long, but I'll hit you up later
the
and
timings as like a team.
let you know when I'm back at it.
Like the performance they just had on the LSC Control, I think you're going to see Octane try to get in that position time and time again when they're going towards that B zone. I think they're figuring out exactly how they want to play these rounds, but obviously outslayed by a little bit. A solid performance there that they're going to look to carry through, and